Well, a very good afternoon and welcome to a sun-kissed Darley Park ahead of the highly anticipated second semi-final between Darley and Sunbury. Both sides, the form teams of the competition. Darley are on an 18-0 run. They've been unbeaten since the season opening loss to Melton, while Sunbury have won their last 6 by an average of 38.5 points. But they've only played one top 4 opposition over that period, and that was a commanding 10-goal win over Melton. But it's highly thought that Sunbury are a much better side at home. They're 0-3 against top 4 away from home, and according to points for, they're a 4-goal better team, averaging 91 at home, 67 away. And just on those for and against numbers, they've been unable to kick a score higher than 72 away from home against top 4 or concede under 80 points. So I know it's a mouthful, but just that weight of observation on the numbers front favours the Devils. Joined this afternoon by Travis Hodgson, a former coach of Bacchus Marsh and Sunbury, now at Melton South. He'll give us all the insight on the Lions and structurally and as play unfolds. Great to have you on board, Trav.
Thanks, Todd. Good to be here.
And Clark Whelan, 150-plus gamer for the Devils, familiar with the black and white, 2-time premiership player, and he'll add some important information on the Devils as the afternoon unfolds. Welcome, Clark.
Thanks, Todd. Good to join you. Looks like a big day on a firm track, so we should get a good game of footy.
Games completed earlier today. Sunbury were too good for Sebastopol by 10 goals in the reserves, and East Point down Bacchus Marsh by 54. I'm tipping we'll get a much closer game here this afternoon in the main game. We're not far off a start. The breeze, obviously, for you sitting at home, difficult to make a judgment, but we can tell you that the score again is to the right of screen. The toss hasn't been complete just yet. Both sides on the ground, as you can see, and the umpires just going through their preliminary. So we're not far off a start here. No Mikey Edwards for the Devils today. No Zane Lahoure, and of course the injuries to Lee Spiteri and Matt Denham. Whilst Sunbury come in full strength, minus their earlier season ending losses of Josh Guthrie and Cody Bramble. It's a good deck, should suit both sides. Whoever can get to the outside and impact greatly with their efficiency going forward will go a long way determining the result. Guys, a quick break and back with the all-important second semi-final. A grand final awaits the winner, whilst the long way via a prelim for the loser. Welcome back to Darley Park ahead of the second semi-final action between the Devils and the Lions, albeit Darley and Sunbury. Head-to-head over their journey in the BFNL. They're locked together on 28 wins apiece. So not only will one go ahead of the win-loss ledger this afternoon come 5 p.m, more importantly, one will book a ticket into the McDonald's FNL Grand Final. Joined by Travis Hodgson and Clark Whelan. Travis will give us an insight on Sunbury throughout the afternoon. Clark, Darley, and collectively we endeavour to bring you a broad representation of our observations throughout the afternoon to keep you entertained. So whatever your preference on a Saturday afternoon, fill up your beverage. Big welcome to ex-president of the Darley Footy Club, Peter Leonard, who's tuning in via Moama. He was going to make the trip down, but something happened with his car, and that's been going on for about 40 years. Trav, Clark, welcome. A tip from you guys.
I'll go the Lions, mate, by less than a kick. I know they're the outsider. All the exposed form says Darley, obviously, but I think if Sunbury can break even between the arcs, they've got enough firepower up forward to win.
Darley by 14 points, Todd, for me.
8 points for me. 80 to 72. I'm going to have a wild guess at the numbers. Billy Myers on Jake Sutton. That's the clear matchup. Hine, Bewley, Baker. Branded BHP, the blue chip stocks of the BFNL, albeit externally, with all respect to those three boys. Impey into the ruck. A Williamstown VFL listed player up against a very improving Fraser Rampolsky. Darley to kick to the left of screen in the opening term. Sunbury to the scoring end. Time to get played away. First tap of the afternoon to Rampolsky. Went to vacant space. His follow-up work was okay, but he ran past the footy. And Brett Bewley was bailed up and will get a ball up near centre wing out of side.
Cousins has gone to Doyle early. Probably the perfect matchup. Doyle likes to get high for Sunbury. Cousins will drop off him.
Ball up, tap one by Impey, meant for Baker through his hands, and Pulsey got the first clearance. Dribbling ball to broadcast half forward. Foot race on here, and the speedy Sutton leads into the race. He's tackled by Myers. Loose ball gathered by Cousins. He weighs up the options. He went to go with the left boot. It was a loose hand pass, but Joel Cadman got on the end of it in the end and went to half forward. Jack Bewley went the spool, kept his feet. Shark well there by Andy Azzopardi. Got the footy back, went with a squarey kick with the right boot. Went searching for Matt Riccardi. It needs to sit for him. It will now. He's had a good last 6 weeks, Matt Riccardi. Square the ball to the pocket. Kick meant for Bewley. Off hands over the line. We'll get a boundary throw-in. Devils in attack on the back of that near first forward 50 entry from that Rampolsky dribble kick.
Yeah, Cousins peeling off there at half back to get the overlap. Trav, you're bang on there.
Throw in. Johnson to do the forward ruck work. He's out of position. And Pulsky won the tap to Muir. And he's held up. We'll get a ball up some 20 metres away from the Darley goal. And Pulsky with the tap went boundary side. He started well in the one-on-one aerial. Albeit just one of those against Impey. And Johnson, who's doing the relief work forward. It's a big ask of the 59-goal versatile forward, conceding height, but he's a clever player. No surprise they won the beneficiaries of that Pulsky tap. Foot race on here. Joel Cadman took a little long. Miller's got some toe and pinned him. So a little confidence boost in the one-on-one between two of the more progressive players from the respective sides. So Miller lowered the eyes and was a poor kick in the end, meant for Johnson. So Baker squared it to Bewley. So a couple of the big guns will get an early touch. One of the best kicks in the comp. Number one for forward 50 entries. Didn't let me down. Found Inglis. Laces out.
Good penetration from Bewley with that kick.
Albeit into the breeze as Inglis went to half forward. Impey had it knocked away from him by Rampolsky. Could have been a free kick against Hine for a hold on Lever, but the umpire called play on. Miller released the ball in the end. Opportunity for Rampolsky and just threw it away in the end. And the ball found its way over the line for a boundary throw-in on half-forward broadcast sign for the Devils.
Good look at Riley Miller early. That's him. Leg speed, great tackling pressure, but that turnover's the area of his game he has to work on.
So Cadman the spare at this stoppage on the defensive side of the throw-in here.
Yeah, Miller the other side for Sunbury. Boundary throw-in. Tap one by Impey. Baker got a terrible bounce. swarm of players around the footy. Loose ball gets released, and Polsky was forced to release the ball to Impey, just threw the ball onto the boot. Got a territory gain, but over the SUVs and out of bounds on the full.
So they each team just sort of feeling each other out at the moment, getting the matchups right and getting used to the conditions.
Well, both sides with full respect for one another, so no doubt some nervous energy and perceived pressure early. Lever had a bit on the kick, albeit with the breeze, and Lance held up there by Cousins. We'll get a ball up in the middle of the ground.
Risky by Lever, usually really safe by foot, but he's just gone into the middle to a lot of numbers there.
At the restart, it'll be Impey, and then Polsky. Impey found Hine, who was held up by Power. No attempt. Holding the ball. Well, I think Hine was anticipating a whistle earlier. He didn't blow at the umpire. So Power, shallow entry inside 50. McLean wanted the hole, denied. Lant, held up by Myers. Cousins went low, did the right thing. Ward, chance for Lant. Foraging, just couldn't get through the Devils' traffic. We get a ball up 35 metres away from the Sunbury goal.
Unlike Matt Brett there, had protection and went straight through his hands. Took his eye off the footy, I think.
He might have had the sun in his eyes on that angle.
Must have been it.
Tap one by Impey, ground level ball. Johnson just couldn't break away. Quick hands there from Power. Got it to the clever Egan, who went on to the non-preferred. So a clean gather from Gardner. On his non-preferred, he went wide in the Jack Bewley direction. And Lever saw it over the line for a throw-in. Right in front of us here, up here in the new facility. It's probably one of your first times up here, Trav. An impressive little construction on behalf of the Mirrabel City Council.
Very nice.
Boundary throw-in. No score as yet, opening 5 minutes. You just see that boundary throw in favour of the Sunbury side, and Polsky. Cousins might have copped one high from Lant. Gee, copped some attention last week, East Point. I'm not quite sure that opposition sides know the potential of Cousins. He's had an injury-interrupted season and a handful of games for Werribee, similar to those at Darley. So hasn't really had the opportunity to gain the momentum, which normally warrants the attention of opposition sides. Of course, the best first-year player for the Geelong VFL 3 years ago. Ball up, tap one by Polsky. Hine got a clean gather. Lucky kick to Bewley. Good pressure from Egan. And defensive spoil from Jack Bewley to the safety of the boundary line. Interesting to see whether Jack Bewley's got a forward defensive role on Lever, who's quite the offensive defender.
Yeah, well, he's the one, isn't he? He's number one in the competition for intercept marks, so he's the one you want to stop from catching it.
Well, there's no one on Lever at the moment, so he's got it on his own terms. Loose ball, Cousins, clean gather, broke the tackle of Egan and ran away. Tumbling kick forward, territory gain. To touch and over the line for a throw-in on half-forward broadcast line for the Devils.
Loved Egan's work at that last stoppage. Like, Bewley's the big name, the big reputation. Egan's on the up, but he's just gone and put a lot of work into Bewley at the first couple of stoppages, and it's really good to see. He's got a lot of going in the kid.
But Egan and Sutton rank 1 and 2 for free kicks for Sunbury, and are both in the top 10 in the comp. So the Devils will have to be on there. Metal without the footy, especially with Sutton and Egan with ball in hand. Ground ball. Umpires picked out a free kick here. It's going to go against the Devils. And it'll go to Cameron, a Coburg VFL listed midfield talent. Gee, the gather from Polsky was clean. And then it was the pressure from Brett Bewley. Stole it away and bit the left boot. Got it to a fellow lefty in Baker, who went inside 50. Kick meant for Johnson. It was cut off by Tenanello. And a rebound from the Lions. Defence imminent. So he'll go short with a nervous kick, but it was okay and effective nonetheless. Not out of trouble yet. The Lions, as Mewett will go back to Tenanello.
And Polsky making room in the centre. He wants the ball. He's getting a bit frustrated.
Well, they kept the trend of play, going along the boundary line and found Egan for his first mark of the afternoon. And he too will go along the line, but he's shanked the kick. So for all of Egan's great work right throughout the season, he just goes at 60% by foot. So he does give you an opportunity, despite his brilliance.
It does get tricky at Darley with the wind. If you haven't got a good ball drop, it does challenge the skills.
So Gardner got it from Brett, who gave it back to Brett. So the former Werribee VFL Listed talent, now a one-pointer at the Devils. He joined the club a few years ago in that winless abbreviated season, cut off by COVID, of course. And that right foot kick found its way to half forward, and the collective Sunbury defence just rewarding one another with a pat on the back.
Yeah, they're well organised back there. Managed to chop off each turnover so far.
So still no score, 8.5 minutes gone. Tap one by Impey to Baker, and a ball up. So last week when it was Darley v East Point, 10 goals to 5 games. So finals not mirroring the home and away match between those two sides. That was 20 goals to 10, in fact. And this game has started off with a low-scoring nature as well, as Hind ran away, nearly ran out of room, fed the ball inside towards Hatcher, went by hand towards Fawcett. It was a clever kick at the end. Found as a party.
Plays called play on. Didn't go 15 metres.
We'll get a ball up. So let off for Sunbury. Can the Devils make it count? There's a swarm of players around the footy. It's all about a loose ball get here. Fawcett was able to hold it in.
Just Hind's elite pace and agility that stood him out from everyone else there.
Ball up. Tap one by Johnson. Only as far as Stevens. And the loose kick out of defence found Jack Bewley, who went short to Hatcher, who presented.
Cadman it was, Joel.
Too far out, you think, boys?
Well, with the breeze, he'll have to go left goal post.
Yeah, look out for the handball here. Myers set himself up.
Yeah, onto that. So Sunbury have done their homework on Myers. So he lowered the eyes, Hatcher. And he went to a dangerous area. And Andy has a party. Well, lucky to get away with it. Well, he didn't in the end. He said he handballed it, but it was a third motion. It was a one-touch throw, essentially, and then a knock forward. So Stevens went to the outer side of the ground. Bouncing ball, got some gain. Trouble here. Sutton took a nice grab just outside 50. Distance shouldn't be a problem. Sent the ball to an open goal square, but he's off to the right and through for a minus score. So a let off at both ends for each side, and Sunbury are on the board through Sutton. They're one behind. They lead Darley, no score. 10.5 minutes gone opening term. And the Lions kicking to the end, or the favourite end of ball carry. That was a terrific kick from Brett Bewley. Made it look easier than what it was. And found Matty Brett on the defensive 50. Right up against the boundary line. Continue the pattern of play. Johnson read it well and got on out of the back there and sent it forward towards Hind. Tendinello, the pursuant.
Oi.
Hind ended up over the fence.
Granger legal. Straight over the top.
Yeah. No litigation required there. Throw in. Impey and Eels, the number 2 ruckman. So tap one by Impey. Got it to Baker. The big guns combined. Bewley fed it by hand to Fawcett, who got it to Gardner. To Joel Cabin on the outside. To Andy Azzopardi. Now he's in trouble and pinged. Second free against Andy Azzopardi for hanging on, and they're away here through Doyle, the Lions. They got in the middle of the ground to Cameron. He's got a paddock. Ran to 60. Inside half forward. And missed everything out of bounds on the full.
Johnson not happy. He was out the back, had 10 metres.
I don't think Coach White would be happy with that either.
No, well done by the Sunbury defence to just keep rolling up one until they nailed the tackle. Otherwise, the Devils were through.
Yeah, super defending.
So it'll be Billy Myers. Got the ball into the breeze beyond the defensive 50. The back there was Tanner into the side today. Off hands over the line. We'll get a throw in. Right in front of us here, 60 metres away from the Sunbury goal.
It's a good spoil by young Tanner. He's fourth in line. Made sure got the stoppage.
Got some important intent on the footy. Sunbury by a point here. 12.5 minutes gone. Impey just dropped it at his feet. So much so, Eels was able to do the mopping up, and he coughed it up to Brett Bewley, who gave it to Joel Cadman. Tumbling right foot kick to broadcast centre wing. Lever tried to turn his plays inside out. Lucky to get away, but in the end, Hatcher through traffic. I think the hair pass was meant for Baker. It was cut off by Tanner. Hatcher's second effort good. So too the gather from Joel Cadman. Rode the tackle. Umpire called play on. Said he handballed it. Lever. Power. Right foot kick. Got some territory. Myers. He nearly went out of bounds on the full there, that kick. But we'll trust the boundary umpire. Just metres away. adjacent to the Sunbury coach's box, and we're going to throw in 35 metres around from the Lions' goal.
Yeah, Sunbury just not giving Darley any space or time to get rid of the ball.
Johnson won the tap to himself. He got a second crack at it. Fed it by hand to Egan on his preferred left. And he's offline. So some let-offs for the Devils with the Lions peppering the goal front with 3 attempts in the last 4 minutes. It's just equated to the 2 behinds trap.
Yeah, and spot on, Clark. I reckon Darley have been really good with their hands, but when you use your hands the way they have, it invites pressure, and Sunbury's been up to it. Sunbury's really put the heat on early, and it's kept the Devils just probably one handball away from getting out.
Yeah, they're well organised behind the ball, Sunbury, and right in this game they've quelled every Darley forward foray so far.
14 minutes gone opening term. Billy Miles will go defensive side of the ground, albeit the outer. Got plenty on the kick. Beyond the defensive 50. Gee, Impey was the only one who could have got a hand on that. Tanner, was it? Yeah, indeed. It was a good stretch from the youngster. Nearly ran out of bounds at the end as he got around Riley. Went to outer centre wing.
What a kick.
And the kick was good towards Bewley, and ground ball. We'll get a ball up. So Brett Bewley's had a handful of possessions in the opening 15 minutes. That'll please Devils fans. He's been able to, well, he had 36 last week. He's in level of importance on the Devils' fortunes. Invaluable. Sunbury out of stoppage again. Shallow entry inside 50. Sutton didn't bend enough. Cousins had it stolen away from Sutton. McLean found Lant. Got it back to Sutton. Loves a goal. And this time they don't miss. The Suttons on the board, so too Sunbury on the goal front. And they've got an 8-point lead here at Darley Park. 15 minutes gone opening turn.
They deserve that. They've had the obviously the 3 scores to this point, and if they had been a bit cleaner, a bit better with the decision on the last kick, they would have probably had 2 or 3 goals by now. So, yeah, terrific start by the Lions. It looks like it's going to be a tight game.
Well, I thought for all of Sunbury's weight of possession and some deep entries, that scoreline of 1 goal, 2-8 with the breeze or the advantage, Darley won't be too perturbed by that. Ball up, and Polsky was authoritative in the ruck, but he may have infringed and given away a free kick. Looks like it's going to go against Egan.
Yeah, it was a hold.
So Adam has a party. One of the rotations, coughed it up, gave it straight to Egan, but his follow-up smother, semi-made for it. Now Ward needs to bend, and he did. He was elusive. Fed it by hand to Adam Azzopardi. Got it to Crawford, who went with the right kick wide, and Fawcett was strong overhead, but the juggling attempt to the mark has not been paid on the full.
Benny Hill music for those last 3 or 4 possessions.
So Gallant went back with a 45 to Wood, who found power on half-back. So quite the offensive mid is Power, and went with the right foot towards half forward. Missed everything in the end, out of bounds on the full.
It's contagious.
Yeah, you can get a bit complacent when you get a bit of 4-goal breeze behind you. Sunbury just need to be a bit more careful forward of centre.
Well, it must have bounced over the line. Well, bounced before it went over the line because the throwing took place. So Power got it to Stevens, might have copped one high. Forced to release the ball. Power, blind, left foot, up and under kick over the shoulder. Lant the target, did the defensive thing, did well. And Polsky knocked it out in the direction of Scanlon. Just found the boundary line in the end. We'll get a boundary throw in 60 metres away from the Sunbury goal.
So the last 10 minutes really been played in Sunbury's half. They just got a bit sharper on that inside 50.
Throw in. Duncan Cadman into the ruck. Won that tap. Ground level ball. Swarm of players around the footy, and we'll get a ball up. So an 8-point lead to Sunbury. Tony Lockett medalist Jake Sutton on the board. He's booted 1 goal, 1 this afternoon. Darley hit to trouble the scorers. So Power out of congestion, searching for Lant. Matricardi was clean, and the kick was equally as impressive, and found Baker, who just wants to take some air out of the game momentarily and distribute with a helicopter-type kick, but it was effective nonetheless, and got it to Duncan Cadman, who got it to Bewley, and the left foot kick to the fat side, bouncing ball. Went searching there towards Joel Cadman. Ground ball opportunity for Crawford. Fed the ball by hand. Good pressure from the Sunbury defence. They'll get out of trouble through Boyd, and his tumbling kick. Found power. He just tipped it over the top to Polsky. Went to go with a squaring kick. Gee, it opened the door for Brett. His attack on the footy was good, but he went to ground. Laird kept his feet, fed the ball to Boyd. He kept pushing forward, went to a vacant goal square and got the journey.
That's on Matty Brett, that one.
Yeah.
Just a horrible ball security. He took the ball clean enough and just needed to take the tackle. No prior opportunity. You get a ball up 50 from the opposition goal, but spilt the footy to the outnumber, and McLean made him pay maximum.
Well, it was Boyd in the end who kicked the goal, and well done to Boyd, because he was the one who released the ball by foot on the half-back line for Sunbury, so he kept pushing to provide the aid and the support. So that skew-if kick from Polsky that looked like was going to be gobbled up by Brett, Boyd was able to pounce. Baker with some intent, and Polsky started okay. Inglis got his touch and fed the ball by hand to Andy Azzopardi. Went with the right boot, made it difficult for Fawcett, went over his head. Jack Bewley and Fawcett to do the work. Oh, he's going to ping him here for holding the ball, Lieber. Very unlucky.
That is harsh.
So Fawcett now. So Sunbury got an extra behind the ball. He'll need to be careful with his distribution here. So he sends it high and forward. Players fly, ground ball. They got numbers up and down, Sunbury. They'll get on the end of this. Cameron got a touch of the fumbles. Forced to release the ball by hand. Baker, tumbling kick forward. Lucks a fortune. And the mark's been taken there by Tanner. He'll go back and have a shot on goal here. 20 metres out on a slight angle. But kicking against the aid, well, against a tricky breeze.
How long you reckon since Darley have gone 20 minutes without a score? It's a long time. Started well, Sunbury, haven't they? They've really brought the heat.
Yeah, they've had 4 goalless scorers against top 4 opposition this year, Darley. But it won't be today. Tanner gets his first.
That's a good kick. He kept over it. It was a good ball drop. You see, as soon as the ball loses momentum, it's a big swing to the outer side. So good penetrating kick from Tanner and a good mark. The young fellas had a pretty good first quarter.
So Darley get one back after they trailed by 14 points just moments ago. They're on the board here through Tanner. And they've looked okay moving the ball forward. It's not easy into that breeze. But Sunbury, very accountable behind the ball. Have been able to foil a couple of those Darley entries. And they lead by 8. At the restart, and Polsky started well. Tumbling kick forward, good territory gain. Gee, the attack on the ball from Scanlon was good, but so too the tackle from Cousins. And we'll get a ball up. So he took on the tackler and then considered no prior.
Yeah, it was probably just one step, so it's probably no prior.
Ground ball, Andy has a party. Fed out by Baker. Hind did well not to infringe on Lant. Pressure was good, and we'll get a ball up 40 metres away from the Sunbury goal.
The tackling from both sides, the technique's been really good. It's mostly around the hip.
Yeah, well, it would have been easy for Hind to infringe there, given Lant was first there and went low, and Polsky fed the ball by hand somehow, kick smothered of power. Hind, Andy has a party. Just hopeful rather than anything else. Bouncing ball in the middle of the ground. Newitt got the first tap on it. Fawcett took them on and then dropped it. Umpire called play on. Chance for Doyle. Needs a favourable bounce. Didn't get one. Inglis gathered, fed it by hand to Adam Azzopardi. Now Hatcher, he's had a good couple of weeks. Fed it by hand. It was a lazy hand pass. Didn't have enough weight behind the footy. Made it difficult for Inglis. Loose ball kick from Sunbury to half forward has ricocheted off the boot of Billy Myers. Ball still in play. Andy has a party. Good hand pass to Impey. Got the overlap to Ward. This possession important. Got it to Crawford, who got it to Hind. Look out! Got ball to boot. Gardner was strong through the tackle of Scanlon and Lant, who fed it to Cousins. And how's the kick? Found Brett Bewley, who's got Matt Tricardi with the overlap, but he's looking for another option, but the Devils have pushed behind the footy. So Brett Bewley, bereft of option, is just going to go wide towards Tanner through his hands. Opportunity for Fawcett, who was tackled, taken to the ground. And we'll get a ball up. Shallow entry inside 50 for the Devils.
How good the Riley Miller tackle on Hind.
Yeah, very good. You could see Hind, they were all trying to get it to Cousins. It got there in the end, but it was a great tackle.
Power with a loose ball, then went to ground. Oh, the Devils were playing. They got the eye contact of the umpire. Sometimes it can work in your favour. But on this occasion, a stoppage squared away. And an 8-point lead to Sunbury. 23 and a half minutes gone. Call that even. Force it. Quick hands. Got it to the dangerous Hind. Squaring ball with the left boot. It's been cut off. Chance here for the Lions to rebound through Muir. Kick was good. Johnson spilt it. Carter took on the tackle. Now you're in trouble. Too high, said the umpire.
Gosh.
So a let off for Gardner and the Devils. McLean noted for his forward pressure. Was told to stand by the umpire as Gardner sends the ball forward. Impey the target, off hands. Jack Bewley, loose ball, dribbling one at that, and
post.
cannon into the goalpost. And a behind.
It was a good crumb by Jack Bewley. He was going for the goal line. Just went on with the arm.
7-point lead to Sunbury. The distribution of Lieber. Effective again to Wood, who found Muir. Out of side half back. Looks to play on. Went by hand to Power, who made his own space in the end, but turned it over to White, who went backwards to Bewley. So Brett Bewley's had more of it than any other mid at the moment. Inglis did well from a standing start. He'll get it back here and need to send the ball forward. Sunbury got numbers behind the ball. Fawcett did well with the defensive spoil, but Gallant was up to the task and fed it by hand to Riley, and he went with the right boot and switched play well towards Egan, who'll mark uncontested.
Haven't seen much of Jake in the last 10 minutes, have we?
He's just working his way into the game.
Well, Darley are trying to work their way to not kick it where he is. So, yeah, it's a bit of game of chess there at the minute.
So Newitt with ball in hand. Goes short, found Miller, who's off on his bike, loves to run and carry. Fed the ball by hand towards Doyle, who want to get onto his left boot. Does that, 2-on-1 here. Went over the head of both Cousins and Brett and Johnson. And Gardner sees it over the line for a boundary throw-in on half-forward broadcast side for the Lions.
The sun's really awkward on at this time of the day for facing the coach's box.
I reckon that's why that one got at the back of Cousins.
Yeah.
Because he'd usually gobble that up, third up.
Impey. And Eels to contest. Well, Impey tapped into Eels in the end and was tackled by Hind and taken to the ground. We'll get a ball up.
Quick kick forward here from Sunbury. Will go straight down Billy Myers' throat. He's dropped off the stoppage.
So Sutton's pushed up to it. Impey tapped the ball boundary side. That was a clever hand pass from Adam Azzopardi. Hind kept it in with the left boot. Sunbury got numbers behind the ball. And Lever got a good fist on it. Over the line. And into quite a large crowd that has amassed in the outside social area here at Darley Park. Call it members' side, call it what you like. Nearest the bar, nearest the barbecue. Take your preference. Tap one by Eels. And Egan is held up by Bewley. And we'll get a ball up.
Fawcett taking well-earned rest. He's had a good few minutes, even though there's an outnumber. Sunbury's been really competitive, bringing the ball to ground.
Ball up. Tap one by Impey, looking for Baker. Found him in the end. Umpires picked out a free kick here.
Downfield against Johnson.
Yeah, Jack Newer got dropped behind the ball.
Right. So caught for some retaliation, no doubt, as Cameron went short to Doyle. There's normally a thumping kick with his left boot, and he got plenty on this one. Devils have got an outnumber, and Brett found the safety of the boundary line with a spoil. A little bit proppy there as he landed.
As strong as they are forward, it's going to be hard to score against Darley if you just dump the ball in with Myers, Cousins and Brett back there. Yeah.
Well, that looked every bit innocuous, but Matthew Brett looks in a bit of trouble. Boundary throw in, Egan and Hind sharing a bit of, how you doing, sir? Chance for Johnson to get his own ball. Couldn't quite keep it in. The ball rolled into the behind post for a throw in. It was all a bit too easy for Sunbury there. No one in front of that ruck contest to impact that tap.
Brett's the one playing the role you're talking about, Toddy, but he is a bit restricted with his lateral movement.
Throw in. Johnson with the tap. His second effort again. Nearly impacted, but Myers searching. Meant for Hind. One of the hole. Good pressure from Egan. Well, he's done well there, Hind, against an outnumber to square away a stoppage, 40 metres away from the Sunbury goal.
Darley numbers went boundary, Hind went inside, and so he had to force a stoppage 1 on 3.
Sunbury 14, lead Darley 7. Ball up. Impey with the tap, searching one. Adam Azapati did well. He got a territory game, but it's all Sunbury behind the footy. And it'll be Eels who fed the ball by hand.
Another bomb.
To Lever, who went long to Johnson. Joel Cadman did well with that first body contact. The ball fell out the back. Dangerous area. Chance of a soccer here. Johnson was foraging. He couldn't gain possession. It was good defence from the Devils, and we'll get a ball up in the goal square. Just a couple of metres away from the Sunbury goal.
It was a good defence from a couple of Devils.
So Johnson, as strong as an ox. Impey won the tap. Hind, swinging a miss by foot. Grand ball opportunity. Shark by Egan. Somehow went with the high up and under over the shoulder. Didn't go the required. Loose ball. Oh, there's a high tackle. Umpire said no, and Payne Pinckney for holding the ball.
Goodness me, he's missed one there. That is a clothesline.
So Darley would take the resultant free kick here. And Egan just throwing his weight around. It'll be Impey.
See what the umpire was looking at there.
To get the Devils out of trouble momentarily. Poor kick cut off by Miller. And umpires paid the mark. And 51 metres away from the Sunbury goal. So where's the run around behind Impey and get the handball and just leave the kicking? Well, there's one. Got it to Hannett, who's a prodigious kick of the footy. It's only about the accuracy. And he's nailed it between the sticks.
It's pretty poor by Darley there, because I was about to say, Miller's not getting that with 2 kicks. That's not his strength.
And Hannett, well, he's the longest kick in the team.
Yep.
And he's threaded that. And good timing here for Sunbury, just ahead of the quarter-time siren. 30 minutes gone opening term. Sunbury 3-2-20. Darley 1-1-7. Poor checking from the Darley mids or half-back line there, Clark.
Well, the dump kick from Impey didn't come off the boot all that well and exposed them a little.
13-point lead to the Lions. Ball up. Tap one by Impey. Just out of the reach of Baker. Soccer along the ground from Cameron. Went to the aid of Miller in the end. Adam Azapati's caught, well, up around the shoulder. Taken to the ground by Hannett, and we'll get a ball up. So Sunbury's best quarter against top 4 opposition is their first and their third terms. So the way this quarter's unfolding, they'll keep that record intact. As Power again went searching for McLean, bounced off his chest. Billy took them on, fed the ball by hand to Ward. Kick meant there towards Inglis. He was protected by Sutton on Wood, and Wood went forward towards Johnson. Good work there by Brett, but Scanlon got the crumb front and centre, and the finish was sublime. And somebody gets some separation here at Darley Park.
They're up and about, their beliefs high. Again, just Nathan Wood's ability to leave his confidence, I guess, to leave his direct opponent and come forward and cut that Bewley or that possession off from Darley. Playing really aggressively at the moment, Sunbury.
Yeah, Ward needed to do more with that possession. The little 15-metre pop kick missed the number.
Just kept the pressure on them, didn't it?
It did, yeah. Turnover goal.
So not dissimilar to their meeting way back in round 2 when Sunbury led 29-3 at quarter time. So Darley, in their third game in as many meets against Sunbury, will do the chasing.
So a couple of red time goals. Let's put a little gap in the game now on the scoreboard.
All up. Impey the fly, got it to Baker, spent it before he had it. Cameron, so too he. Good second effort there from Baker and a good rolling tackle will square away the stoppage on broadcast centre wing. 19-point lead to Sunbury.
Cadman peeling off and dropping into the hole here to try and damage control.
And Polsky, the tap was gathered beautifully by Gardner. Went with the left boot. Sunbury got an outnumber behind the ball.
Great.
It's like they've got 25 blokes out there behind the ball at the moment, Sunbury.
Mellow.
As the siren sounds for quarter time here at Darley Park. Sunbury 4 goals, 2-26 lead. Darley 1-1-7. They did kick to the aid of a scoring end, as was witnessed in the earlier games played today. So some respite there for Devils fans tuning in at home. We'll be hopeful they can capitalise in the second term. But it's Sunbury 4-2-26. Lead Darley 1-1-7. It's a 19-point lead to the Lions. They led by 26 at quarter time in their last trip here, if it's any consolation. But I tell you what, the Lions are up and about, and they're seem to be covering the ground better, Hoggy, and a little bit more accountable behind the ball.
Yeah, their pressure's enormous, and they've outnumbered Darley at a lot of those contests, you know. So when you've got an extra number at the ball and you stick your tackles in the way they have, they deserve their lead. I don't think there's any luck to their lead. They've just been the better side for, I understand obviously there's a breeze to their end, but they've been the better side over that 30 minutes. You know, with Darley, but they ain't going to panic, are they?
Well, it was 33 minutes of good pressure. Like Darley could not break free. There's a couple of times across half back where they did have the outnumber. They had some time to dispose of the ball, but largely just Sunbury. The pressure on the ball was too much for Darley to score more than one goal for the quarter.
Well, we'll go through the goal scorers before a break. All singles to Sunbury: Sutton, Boyd, Hannett and Scanlon. Two of those coming very late in that term, whilst Darley, Tanner just has the one. It's a 19-point lead to Sunbury. At quarter time here, guys, the break, time to fill up your drinks and rejoin us in around 5 minutes' time.
There are certain things in life that just go well together, like the new Big Arch and layers of delicious melty cheddar cheese. Mmm, cheese. New Big Arch for Big Macca's hunger.
Welcome back to Darley Park ahead of the second quarter action here. It's Sunbury who lead the Devils by 19 points. 4-2-26. Lead Darley 1-1-7. Darley will kick with the aid of a slight breeze in this second term. There's no guarantees that come with that. Sunbury very good in that opening term. Ball up here. Ground ball opportunity, Impey. And will square away a stoppage. At the restart, Impey and Ampolsky. Ampolsky won the tap, searching for Egan. Ricocheted off him. Impey elected to go by hand on this occasion, only as far as Lant. Back to Ampolsky, who started well. To Miller, tumbling ball towards half forward. Should favour Cousins in the end, but the attack on the ball was good from McLean. Caught one high. And he'll take the deserved free kick. He'll get this one, McLean. It's a good kick of the ball too. And he keeps it low and wide to the pocket and found Egan, who presented in front of Brodie Ward and took a nice grab. And we'll go back and have a shot on goal here. Difficult angle with the breeze.
Terrific leading patterns by Sutton there. Multiple leads he led, didn't get used. But then he turned and dragged Myers back away from the footy so that Egan could get it.
Yeah, very clever. Made space for Egan, who had the mismatch really for body type.
So it'll be Egan from 45. Well, he probably kicked from 40 in the end to extend a 19-point lead with that familiar left boot approach. Goes across the face, didn't quite get the distance. Now Matricati did the sharking. Tried to be a bit too cute with the outside of the right boot, and the ball was cut off there by Miller.
Where Egan took that shot, that's the hardest place on the ground to shoot for goal, so somebody need to avoid that pocket if they have a choice.
So they'll go wide of the pocket here. The kick was effective nonetheless. Found its way in between two Darley players.
Beautifully weighted. Miller's been sensational. One of the top few players on the ground, I think, in the first 30 minutes.
So Doyle with the left boot. It's going to be difficult here because you need a left to right swing here. It's going to be hard to sort of bring it back.
He's one of their best finishers, but you're right, it's a really tough kick.
So from up against the boundary line, it won't be about distance. It'll be about accuracy right across the face as we tipped and out of bounds on the full as it hits the behind post, according to the boundary umpire, and the Devils will get a rebound.
So there's some feedback about how difficult the conditions are on shooting for goal going to the Gisborne end.
So Myers with a thumping, awkward kick in the Johnson direction. Lucky not to give away a free kick there. Grand ball opportunity here. Devils have got numbers at ground level. The umpire will come in and effect a ball up.
Dan would be happy seeing that, but even if it did cost him a free kick, it was a really good tack on the ball by Johnson.
Yeah, I think Johnson will be pretty frustrated with the way the game's gone so far.
Tap one by Impey. Power. Egan with strength to Ampolsky. He's been important to Egan. Poor kick. Slips catch. Drop. Stolen by Lant. Fed it to the outside. Scanlon got it to Egan. Penetrating kick. Has he got the accuracy? No, he hasn't. Off to the right.
Clean. Kicked that in the end.
Oh, they're all over him,
But they waste no time here. Matricati. Right boot. Out wide towards Andy as a party. Geez, the gather was terrific. But the body contact from Wood was enough to force the momentum of Azzopardi over the line for a boundary throw-in on half forward. Sunbury all over the Devils at the moment.
Absolutely. It's one-sided.
20-point lead to Sunbury. 3.5 minutes gone. Tap one by Impey. Baker, no support, got a couple to beat, kept it in, only as far as Ampolsky, fed it by hand to Cameron, got through the tackle of Impey, fed it forward, went over the head of Johnson. Doing the mopping up there was Matty Brett. He got the overlap to Brett Bewley. Fed the dummy on Land, now he's in trouble. Look out! Dropped it in the end.
Tackling, good pressure. Holding the ball.
Fairness to Bewley, he wanted to handball that 3 or 4 times, but they're just outnumbered. They're outnumbered in the contest before that and the contest before that. They're just, Sunbury's working a lot harder at the moment.
So Johnson.
So Brett is the loose man behind the ball, and now Impey. So Darley got 2 tools.
So the Coburg VFL listed Johnson sends the long kick, and look at it fade away to the right. Went through the hands of Joel Cadman, fortuitously fell into the hands of the Devils, who fed it by hand to Matricati to outer centre wing, and knew it was up to the task on Johnson with the one-on-one, and waste no time with the rebound, and the short kick was good and found Hannett.
That's where the exit kick needed to be a 30-metre kick to Inglis all by himself.
Yep.
So the 45 concede to Wood was effective. So Sunbury doing what you thought the Devils could have done there. Clark, as Miller got on the end of that kick and just continued the pattern of play wide towards Doyle, who's on centre wing broadcast side. We'll square it back. They love the overlap in the uncontested market. We seem to see it more at the Clark Oval, but they're using the spaces of Darley Park here well today, Sunbury. And Polsky held his ground. That was a good effort from Gardner to effect enough of a spoil, and he had the boundary line in his favour as he went to ground, and the ball trickled over the line for a throw-in.
It's still all Sunbury at the stoppage. The numbers are damning.
Umpire's picked out a free kick here. It's going to go the way of the Devils. It's going to go to Impey. Momentum up and about with the Lions at the moment. Their will to run can't be questioned as Bewley presented and just got away from Lever on that occasion. And wasted no time to half forward. Now Johnson in front. It went over his head, and the bouncing ball will find its way into the hands of Matty White, who gets his first touch of the afternoon.
Had to work so hard to get that uncontested mark, and before that we've watched Sunbury chain about 6 or 7. Darley's number one in the comp for uncontested marks, 80 a game, 20 plus a quarter, and they can't find one.
Throw in. Tap, Impey over the back, looking for Baker, but Sunbury again with numbers, and Ampulski again, that man we speak of. Tumbling kick towards broadcast centre wing. Crawford was clever and went with the right boot to a danger area, but it was cut off well there by Tenadello. Been very accountable, the connection of Sunbury's defence. You can't deny. They go with the right boot. Gee, lucky there for the Devils. He threaded it in between two Sunbury players. The left foot kick behind was smothered by Stevens. Fed it by hand. They've got an overlap here. Egan got around the umpire somehow to Stevens. Now he's in trouble. But Sunbury got numbers to the outside. Confusion both Hannett and Lever. Open the door for Hine. Baker needs a kind bounce. Got one. Fed it by hand over the top to Hatcher. With the outside of the right boot. Johnson got it. Goal! Devils get one back at Darley Park.
Well, they're probably a little bit lucky. Not taking it away from them. They're probably a little bit lucky. Or Stevens ran into the umpire there and got held up when they looked out. But then Darley looked pretty good in offence, and somebody wanted a free kick in the goal square there for a push in the back, but maybe used his body. Clever player, Johnson.
That frontal pressure on the last 3 exits, so you just see Darley looking for a spark, and they turned it over 3 times. The 3rd time they got through.
Yep.
So, that's where you start on your comeback. So, it's Sunbury in control of this game.
Typical of a Sunbury-Darley clash. Ball up, tap one by Impey. Bewley denied the footy by Egan, who allowed Eels to soccer the ball off the ground at vacant space. Foot race on. Johnson leads into the race for it for Sunbury. His gather was good for a big man. He ran away from Brett. Sent it forward. Could have been a hold on Myers. The umpire called play on. Ground ball ricocheted off the boot of Scanlon and found its way over the line for a boundary throw-in some 20 metres around from the Sunbury goal.
I was in disbelief he didn't get that free kick. Sutton wrapped him up with his arms.
So the ricochet came off the boot, according to the goal umpire. So Myers will take, well, he'll get it in the end.
Oh, that's why you have 10 umpires on the field, Dotty.
So he went short to Gardner, who was off and told to play on by the umpire. It was the right call, and he went with the old school barrel. Got a bit of it. It'll set up okay for Cousins. He went left, he went right. He was clever. And just went towards Matricati. It was a poor kick. It was cut off by Gallant. And the short kick found Cameron on half forward for Sunbury. Went wide of the pocket, the Sunbury in the Sutton direction. Couldn't hang on, ground ball. Gardner got the overlap, needs to be composed here. Well, he wasn't. So the searching hand pass met for Matricati, missed the target, found the boundary line in the end.
Yeah, the 2-on-1 was a bit... Darley worked it out in the end anyway. They got Lever off the ball.
Sunbury's ability to push up on the handball giver has been impressive today. It's really put pressure on the Devils to release the ball. Matthew Brett went to ground, took all his momentum forward, wanting a push denied by the umpire, and rightly so. And we'll get a ball up 50 metres away from the Sunbury goal. who lead by 14 points here at Darley Park. Winner into the grand final. Bewley fed it by hand to Baker. He's been good. Right foot kick. Went searching for Tanner. He went to ground. Sunbury again with the outnumber. Riley, tumbling kick. Poor one at that.
Not sure that's his preferred.
No, it's not.
No, he's a right footer.
And a turnover.
Bit disappointing because they did have the extra number.
Short kick was okay to Hind. Some good attention from Stevens.
14-metre kick.
Half volley from Hind made it difficult for Fawcett. Now Hind's forced to apply some defensive pressure with Fawcett to square away a stoppage in the end. So both sides have let each other off by foot throughout the game.
The pressure remains like Darley. So always got someone hanging on to them when they kick.
All up. Tap one by Eels on that occasion. Empty. Hopeful tap. Fell in the hands of Matricati. Was held up by Egan. We'll get a ball up.
We've seen Darley chip through that part of the ground uncontested 1,000 times, haven't we? But Sunbury won't allow it.
Off today.
Ball up. Empty. Matricati released the ball. Umpires picked out a free kick here. It's going to go Sunbury's way.
Against Matricati in the back.
To Cameron, who looks to square the ball. Effectively to Muir. And he'll go with the right boot. Wide of the pocket. Towards Sutton. Courage shown from Cousins to get back in the hole.
Yeah. It's a good effort.
Terrific.
Kept his eye on the ball.
But going back on tiptoes with no weight.
And 50.
I think he's paid the mark.
Paid the
which
mark
it probably
and
was.
50.
Yeah, late contact. Such a good user too. Good things could happen out of this.
Little hands here.
So he'll go to Hind. He'll back himself against Egan. Now he's in trouble, but he'll square the kick nicely to Jack Bewley.
And he can kick this.
50 metres out. Plenty on the kick. And he snuck it in, Bewley. It's a great call, Clark.
He's a thumping kick, Jack Bewley.
Darley get back-to-back goals here and close within 8 points. 11 and a half minutes gone, second term.
What you said, been talking about for the last half an hour too, Clark. Hind gets the ball. He can dump and drop that to the top of the square to a pack, but he lowers his eyes and finds Bewley by himself. That's the difference. Just lowered his eyes, just ball in the right hands. One thing I have noticed today is it must be warm out there. The Sunbury players come. I've never seen players so tired so early in a game. I don't know if it's Darley as well or if it's just the effort that Sunbury have brought. But you've got to wonder if it's sustainable. They look cooked.
Darley 3-1-19, trail Sunbury 4-3-27. Back at the restart. Darley with the only 2 goals of this second term. Brett Bewley went to Joel Cadman. They lowered the eyes and found Adam Azapati in the middle of the ground. He's got Matricati on the fat side, albeit broadcast centre wing. Tells the players to come to him. He goes wide to the pocket. Johnson got on the end of it. Who looked to square the ball? Baker.
So just from that centre bounce there, you see Egan and Power. They started with Baker. I think it's just, 12 minutes into the second quarter. I think some fatigue starting to show.
Yeah, and the intensity.
Little white jumpers.
Yeah, the intensity Sunbury have brought. That is a taxing way to play footy.
Yep.
And Matty White's got the ear pods in. I wonder what he's listening to.
Might have a favourite in the next.
And Baker from 49. Important kick. Across the face. Neither side can impact aerially. Through free behind.
But they're starting to get some flow, Darley.
Darley within 7. 3-2-20. They trail Sunbury 4-3-27. 13 minutes gone, second term. Just looking at that Darley web there. There looks a bit of strategy on with the kick-ins. As Lever lopes away, comes broadcast side. Got the shimmy around Jack Bewley. And then with an awkward kick.
Turnover.
And Brett Bewley got a contested mark against the central umpire.
He couldn't, could he?
No, not from 70.
Oh.
Or could he? He has. Captain Brett Bewley, he'd love that. Wow. That's his best goal of the season. Gee, I feel sorry for the net as the ball was cannon in halfway up.
The man on the mark was 65 metres out.
Straight into the highlights reel for the Jewel Henderson medalist, Brett Bewley, who gets the Devils within a point. 4-2-26, Darley. Trail Sunbury, 4-3-27.
So the brothers Bewley have kicked the last 2 from a collective 120 metres out.
That's gone through nearly post high.
Well, we knew Bewley had a 3-iron in his bag, but we didn't know he had a 1-iron. Ball up, tap one by Duncan Cadman. And Polsky got the loose ball only as far as Brett Bewley didn't go the required. Now the pressure's gone up again. 1 point lead to Sunbury. 14 and a half minutes gone second term. Draining conditions under the sun here at Darley Park. Ball up, tap one there by Duncan Cadman through traffic. Lance got some toe, but it was good pressure from Duncan Cadman. And Polsky's been one of Sunbury's best, and the right foot kick didn't let him down and found Doyle 40 metres out from goal. Presents an opportunity for the Lions to restore a 7-point lead here as we near the 15-minute mark of this second term.
It's pretty neat from a 6'5" ruckman, isn't it, to firstly see it and then to execute it, just lower his eyes and hit Doyle. And although it's into the breeze, Doyle's the one probably in the Sunbury side with the ability here with his long left leg. He's a chance.
So he loves the long runner, but he more often delivers by foot. Averages about a goal a game. Doyle, he got plenty of it. This time he allowed a bit much to the left, and it went out of bounds on the full. So another representation of the difficulties presenting both sides kicking to the left of screen.
Yeah, we've got to be a bit careful about how we judge the goal kicking into the breeze.
So Matthew Brett, penetrating kick, was turned over in the end, was well read by Murphy Boyd.
Here comes Lever.
So the setup was good there from Boyd. He read it well and he went wide of the pocket. Sutton, and it knocked away from him by Joel Cabin. Umpire called play on.
He just had to wait under that kick, didn't he? It was a beautiful lead, and the wind just held it up.
Yep.
Sunbury lead by 1 point here. Second semi-final action.
Duncan Cadman into the ruck.
Cadman to provide the relief, but he can't get there. And Polsky won the tap again. Ground ball will be squared away in the form of a stoppage by the umpire. 48 metres away from the Sunbury goal. Tap one by Duncan Cadman, only to his fellow opponent there in Polsky. He looked to square the ball, but it was read well off the boot there by Crawford, who knew when to go on McLean. Dangerous kick, but it was effective. Inglis fed the ball by hand to Cousins, who fed it over towards Baker, who looked to the fat side. There was no one there, so he took the longer option in Johnson. 55 metres out from goal. He's got nobody forward, but he'll just chip it over the top towards Jack Bewley. It was Tanner, in fact, who couldn't keep it in off hands over the line for a boundary throw-in 25 to 30 metres away from the Darley goal.
That looked more like Darley through the middle of the ground, didn't it?
Yeah, I think Johnson just was keen to get it going, but there was just no numbers at all forward of the ball.
17 minutes gone, second term. Stick with us right throughout the afternoon. The FNL Match Centre, second semi-final action. Tap one by Polsky. Egan found land at the end. Interesting release by foot. Was probably one of the better drop punts we've seen into the breeze. Cousins got it inboard somehow to Bewley, who fed it by hand to Ward. This kick needs to be good, and it was. And it found Myers, who would have seen Brett Bewley kick that goal about 5 minutes ago. Would be like, well, if Brett can get the journey, I can. So he'll start from broadcast centre wing, Myers.
He's cashed in on the Sutton rotation there, so Sutton's just come off the ground for the first time today to have a bit of a spell, and Myers has followed him up. And
so a standing start is a little bit more difficult than when on the run on the back of a handball give. So we'll see how he goes. Gets plenty of it. How's the weight?
It's in.
It's enough.
That's 65 as well.
Darley in front here at Darley Park. 5-2-32. They lead Sunbury 4-3-27. A 5-point lead to the Devils. 18 minutes gone, second term.
It's what makes players like him the stars they are, but we know about his athletic ability and his football skills, but just smart enough to identify when Sutton goes to the bench, and instead of just waiting for the next forward to come on, he pushes up the ground and gets dangerous.
Well, there's probably only 3 guys that can kick the ball from that far out in the comp. 2 of them are playing here today.
And Geordie Johnson and Jackson Merritt will throw those 2 in for good measure. Ball up. And Hannett, of course, who booted one from half forward. Baker. So Baker, Hind and Bewley have had enough of it, the three big mids for the Devils. Been really impressed with our Polsky's game today in the ruck for Sunbury. Second efforts have been terrific. Cameron out of the congestion with a clearance. Gardner got a terrible bounce. It favoured McLean in the end. He gave it a power to Egan. Doyle on his preferred. Lowered the eyes. And the kick was good and found Johnson just a metre away from goal. And a man with his forward craft should make no mistake from here, despite the degrees of difficulty we've spoken about into the breeze. So he's played 16 games prior to today with 14 returns of multiple goals.
Going left foot.
And a chance to kick his first of the afternoon. Around on the left.
Good kick.
And he slotted it through. Johnson, he gets his first. And Sunbury regain the lead here at Darley Park. 5-3-33, they lead the Devils. 5-2-32. Near 20 minutes gone, second term.
Probably needed that.
Yeah, it's a good. Well, they've worked so hard. They really deserve their goal. They've first 10 minutes of this quarter, they peppered the goals and couldn't score one. But yeah, so they do deserve to get that goal. I mean, Darley have kicked 1 goal from 50 and 2 from 65.
Well, they've kicked 2 goals from no forward 50 entries.
It's hard to defend that, isn't
Yeah,
it?
you can't defend it. So that tells me, Sunbury are still a 50-50 game at this stage.
And the score will reflect that. Hind, his opportunity to get his clearance. He sent it forward to Tanner. Drop what he should have taken. Now he's in trouble. Because the accountable Sunbury defence, well, Tendinello took his time and pinged by the umpire. Gee, I thought he was away there, but the pressure from Fawcett
He's having a good game.
was enough.
Young Fawcett.
So Hatcher went into the hole. Now he has to get out of it. As Fawcett from outside 50.
Yep.
Well, he's seen Brett Bewley and Billy Myers do it, but he should just sit this one up, and he does. It'll bring rain. On the way down, he couldn't hang on. Jack Bewley, goal! Got out the back, he's got 2. And the Devils get the response they were after, and the lead that comes with that. They're 6-2-38. They lead Sunbury 5-3-33. Jack Bewley becomes the first multiple goal scorer of the afternoon.
I don't think the backline coach would be enjoying that mess. So Fawcett kicked it up the chimney, and it's attracted 4 Sunbury defenders to the contest, and Bewley the only one down.
Yeah, the beneficiaries of no roof here at Darley Park.
I saw Matty White throw his head backwards. You hate giving those ones up. Everyone up, no one down.
That's just to kill it for a point and reset.
Darley 38 leads Sunbury 33. 21 and a half minutes gone, second term. What a cracking game we've got here. Empey with the tap, won it, went searching for Hind, just couldn't get away from Cameron on that occasion. They got out the front though, the Devils through Inglis. Don't tell me he's having a pot shot from outside 50. Didn't quite get the journey, and Riley saved the day on the goal line. And will rebound for Sunbury.
Well, that kick did go 50.
Well, that kick went 20 and found Hannett. He can get Sunbury out of trouble with the short 45 to Tendinello. To Newitt, in fact, who went along the line to Lever, who presented. Marked uncontested in the end. So they need to man up. The Devils, they're protecting in the form of a Webb, but conceding that uncontested one. Gardner, well, it's a marker on the full, one of the 2.
That was a poor kick.
Yeah, it's rare from Lever. He's such a good user usually.
So Gardner, he got plenty on the drop punt. Sunbury got numbers here. It was good work by Newitt. Loose ground ball. Lever could have been held. Umpire called play on. He's a little bit too far away from the action there. Now Stevens is in trouble. How will the umpire adjudicate?
Gonna ping him.
Holding the ball.
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
That is not holding the ball.
Yeah, he actually tried to push it away, and they kept having it back in.
He was the only one trying to go in, get the ball, bring it out. And anyway, Tanner did lock him down. It's just a ball up.
I love Tanner's effort against Newitt, where Newitt held him under and was going to try and take, but Tanner just, drove his quads and pushed back and made sure that Newitt couldn't catch the footy.
So former Darley junior, now product of the Western Jets, and a handful of senior games. He heading into today, 13 goals from his 6. The chance to add to that tally from outside 50.
Got it.
Easily.
It's not about effort, but it's off to the right. Distance not a problem. He cannons into that net. That's getting a bit of a workout to the right of the screen. So a handy point in the context of the game. Darley lead by an even goal. 39 plays 33 here. 6-3, 5-3.
I can't work out why Sunbury keep coming this side. They're determined to take the ball out this way.
So Hannett went to Newitt, who went to broadcast centre wing, and Stevens is pressured by Gardner, the 2 number 17s. Happy to see it over the line for a boundary throw-in.
For 40 years, Darley plays this wing. I think you go the other side.
Yeah, well, with the wind pushing over that side too, that's the defensive kick out there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's fairly aggressive of them to come to the top side of the ground.
24 minutes gone. It was an excellent tap from Ampolsky to power at ground level, and he was denied by Adam Azzopardi.
And they conceded 3-4 goals just in this region.
Yep.
They could really go defensive.
Ball up. Eels Impey won the tap. Bewley foraging. Now tracked it back in. Oh, ping for holding the ball.
He dragged it in. That's
So Cameron will take the resultant free kick.
backhander there.
24 and a half minutes gone. He goes with the right boot towards the attacking 50. Won't quite get the journey. The fly was from Egan. But getting out the back was Sutton. Weighs up the options with a squaring kick. Just missed the target in the end. It was ambitious. Darley kept their feet, and they got numbers through White, who hooks up with Ward. He's a left footer. Oh, he went back into traffic. Azzopardi, speaking of Andy, got it to brother Adam to the outside. Inglis went back to Adam Azzopardi. Corralled, had to concede by hand to force it. He'll get onto the left boot, and a tumbling one at that. Well, it'd be deliberate at the high level, but we'll get a boundary throw in here at the BFNL.
Well, they had everyone set up behind the ball, Darley, nowhere to go. They probably did well just to force a stoppage and reset.
25 and a half minutes gone. Darley have booted 5 goals to 1 in this second term. Throw in. Tap one by Impey. Eels roved, and not for the first time. Impey's tapped into the opposing ruckman. Certainly no intent, but just no purchase on the hit. So a ball up here. Impey won that tap this side, got it to the outside, only as far as Cameron, who went to ground. Power kept his feet, his kick was smothered. Good play there by the Devils. Bewley fed it by hand, out towards Hind. Stevens a bit of a racehorse, so a couple of the quicker players from their respective sides will call it even. The boundary line wins in the end. We'll get a throw in, centre wing out of side. So Sunbury were able to get 2 goals in that opening term beyond the 26-minute mark of that first term. And Darley will endeavour to do the same with the aid of that breeze, despite having a 6-point advantage here. Throw in, tap one by Impey, roved his own ball. His hand pass was retarded, and Eels got one high. Umpire called play on. Stevens fed the ball by hand to Power, who went by foot towards, well, inside 50 really. And the ball sort of checked sideways, as it can do here at Darley Park on the firm deck. Over the line for a boundary throw in, 50 metres away from the Sunbury goal.
So important for Darley just to hold the line here, because Sutton looking dangerous. He's 1-on-1 in the goal square this time.
Throw in. It'll be Impey and Egan. Impey won the tap, tried to dribble it back, take advantage of his basketball background, forced to apply the tackle in the end. Getting out the front there was Bewley, who fed the ball by hand. Hind got on the end of it. Left foot kick. It was clever. Good strong overhead mark from Fawcett.
Strong mark.
He played on and gave it to the racehorse in on. He took on the would-be tackler and went to Adam Azzopardi. Oh, went through his hands, opened the door for a turnover. Stevens had to be quick. He turned it over to Adam Azzopardi, who bombed it forward in the Johnson direction. Knew it was terrific. Ball bounced over the heads and rolled through for a rush behind to the end. Gee, some doors open from both sides. Darley going forward, turnover, and then Sunbury with the rebound, another turnover.
You can see Hind working really hard to try and bust a line, and his fitness and conditioning are going to come into the game late.
Yep. So Newitt short kick to Wood, as they so often do out of defence. They go to the left footer, guard to the fly, and it knocked away from him there by Lever.
I think it's been the problem in the past, in the previous encounters. Sunbury started well. Egan's a kid, Power's a kid, Cameron's a kid, and you've got these hardened bodies that have been doing it for a long time that can run games out.
Dangerous position on the ground, this one, for Sunbury to have the stoppage.
Muir all on his own goal side. He's going to end up with this. Good call, Toddy. Muir will rebound for the Lions, and the kick was good.
Strong mark.
Strong overhead grab taken there by Doyle.
And 50.
And 50. Well, the Darley defence are good for one of those a week.
Well, apparently he was asked to come back and did not.
Hasn't stood the mark either because he was too busy complaining.
So he lowered the eyes, and a big fella around Polsky went to ground, opened the door for Brett. He telegraphed the hand pass. He was smothered. His second effort was good, though, to release the ball to Gardner. He went with the tumbling right boot, and the ball, as it did on the other side of the ground, checked sideways to the magnet of the boundary line. Over the line, we'll get a throw in centre wing broadcast side. Time ticking away in this second term. Over 29 minutes gone. Darley lead by 7 points. Throw in. Tap one by Impey, only as far as Power, who could have gone to Mule, but elected to go by Boot towards the attacking 50. Johnson, the targeted it, knocked away from him. Stevens got some separation from Crawford, and his dribbling attempt on goal just rolled off to the right and through for a minor score.
That was a great break.
Terrific by the kid, yeah.
Yeah. And it was spinning the right way. It was a good kick on the burst.
Shank from Myers. Heavy bounce in the middle, though. Kept the Devils in with an opportunity to pick up this ground ball through Baker. Fed it over the top to Hind. Now he lowers the eyes and went with the left boot. Oh, over the head of Cousins and fell into the basket of Johnson. Wasted no time. Unselfishly squared it to Darcy Matricati. He'll go back and have a shot on goal here.
What an elite kick by Nick Hind.
Right on the siren.
Can't defend that.
No. Left foot, full speed.
Terrific, yeah.
So Johnson, who could have quite easily have gone back and had a pot shot on goal to kick goal number 61 for the season, has unselfishly put the responsibility into the hands of Darcy Matricati. He'll kick from a 45-degree angle, distance not a problem. Can he compose and finish? Yes, he can. Does Darley get a 2-goal separation at half-time in second semi-final action here at Darley Park? 7-4-46 the Devils. They lead Sunbury 5-4-34. So Darley kicked 6 goals to 1 in that term with the aid of the breeze on the back of Sunbury's opening term where they kicked 4 goals to 1. It's a 12-point lead to the Devils. Clark, you've got the goal scorers.
Yes, and for Darley, we have Jack Bewley with 2 and singles to Tanner, Johnson, Brett Bewley, Myers and Matricati just after the siren there. And for the Lions, all singles, Sutton, Boyd, Hannett, Scanlon and Johnson.
Even game of footy. Darley just seemingly making more of their opportunities with their time with the breeze. Sunbury probably had more ball for the first quarter and a half, but it's really been squared up at the half time with the Devils' efficiency going forward.
Yeah, I think Sunbury's pressure in the first half was, the first quarter was at a level it's not sustainable. It was fantastic, credit to them, but I reckon after about the 10-minute mark it started to slide a little bit, and then Darley started to cut them up open a bit. I think probably the challenge for Sunbury now, when you come out after half time, is do they stick with Egan, Power and Cameron, who have been good, but you know, can they go head to head with Bewley, Baker, you know, and Hind for a full game, or do they start to throw Stevens? Maybe they drag Newitt out of the back half now that they've got Gallant back into the side. Do they start to find other players, peripheral players, can go in and take some pressure off their 3 big guns?
Sunbury need a game breaker, and if Fraser Rampolsky, with all respect to him, he's had a great game. He's been arguably Sunbury's best. If he ends up their best player, you would think, given the outside run and talent of those ground level players, Darley will probably win the game.
Yeah, and that's what we're starting to see is statistically Darley are really good. When they got Sunbury last time, they got them by 30 in the loose ball get department, those spilled balls, and it's starting to look like that now. Every time it spills, Hind with his pace or Bewley are getting onto the footy. So it just looks like as it opens up, it suits Darley more than Sunbury.
Yeah, both offensive mids. The battle of the 3, Bewley, Hind, Baker v Power, Cameron and Egan. I think Egan's got some scope. Power and Cameron had plenty of it in that opening half, but collectively the 3 Devils probably just with their noses in front, head to head.
Yeah, maybe just, but then I think it's tight. The concern is, I think going forward, I think it's going one way. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if after half time that starts to open up.
Yeah,
and you start to see it, like we said, in the loose ball get. So plus 31 in round 2 it was, and Darley averaging a dozen more a game. It's just starting to look that way a little bit.
If I'm White, Coach White for Sunbury, and I'll look at the scores where we're 8 points behind, 12 points down at half time. All their pre-game planning, I reckon, has gone as planned. Like the pressure on the carrier, they've created enough opportunities in the first quarter to actually be further in front than they were.
Yep.
And you can't build into your game plan star power. So what I mean by that is Brett Bewley's kicked a goal on a turnover from 70 and Myers kicked a set shot from 60. So you can't build that into your game plan. So I think they're probably, if I'm the coach of Sunbury, I'm sitting there thinking planning went to schedule.
Game is even, bar that Bewley and Myers.
Yep.
Nonsense.
Let's take one more kick. Let's take one more kick when we're entering 50 this quarter so that we put some scoreboard pressure on. Let's kick for goal 40 out.
Yep.
So we're kicking it way through the goals, and it's a much, because they've got winners all over the ground, Sunbury, to this point.
Well, no doubt they'll challenge again, Sunbury. They'll kick with the aid of the breeze in the third term, which is coming up in about 10 minutes' time. The reality of the game so far, 10 of the 12 goals have been kicked to the right of screen. So it's Sunbury's turn to impact in the third term. So rejoin us in around 10 minutes' time for the second half action of the all-important second semi-final. It's Darley who lead by 12 points.
There are certain things in life that just go well together, like the new Big Art and layers of delicious melty cheddar cheese. Cheese. New Big Arch for Big Macca's hunger. There are certain things in life that just go well together, like the new Big Arch and layers of delicious melty cheddar cheese. Mmm, cheese. New Big Arch for Big Macca's hunger.
Welcome back to Darley Park. After a very entertaining opening half in perfect conditions, albeit under sunny skies. Tricky breeze favouring the right of screen. 10 of the 12 goals in the opening half kicked there. And we just saw just what impact it could have, and arguably the difference in the game, those 2 goals to Brett Bewley and Billy Myers. The Devils kicked 6 goals to 1 in that second term. As the siren sounds to get play underway here, Sunbury with the aid of the breeze in the third term. Ball up, Impey and Polsky call it even. All important first clearance. Cameron held up. We'll get a stoppage right in the middle of the ground. Still anyone's game, boys?
Absolutely 50-50 prospect.
Ball up. Tap one by Impey. Baker had an excellent second term. Impey fed it back to Bewley. Tumbling left foot kick cut off by Tendanello. Drilled the ball. Overcooked the kick. Foot race on here. McLean coming off half forward. Matricati, well, he conceded a couple of taps, territory gain in the Sunbury direction. He does it again. You're allowed to pick it up if you like. No, he said, no, I don't want to do that. Turnover opportunity, chance of power. Good chase from the back. Loose ball opportunity. Devils not out of trouble yet. Myers, Sutton, loose ball over the line, throw in 50 metres around from the Sunbury goal.
Great chase. Power's the one that's looked pretty dangerous when the ball spilled to the outside for Sunbury. Terrific chase there.
Darley lead by 12 points. 1 minute into this third term. The loser into a preliminary final next week against the winner of tomorrow's East Point Melton game. Sutton just tried to give it to McLean. Bounced off his chest. Gardner through traffic, did well and took a running bounce. Fed the ball by hand to Bewley. Speaker Brett took on the would-be tackler and ran away. Got the overlap to Inglis. Can feed it further afield to Bewley, who had to stop and prop. It's Jack on this occasion. Now we can get the overlap to Inglis, but he elected to go by foot. And Miller had to wait under it for an eternity. Loose ball opportunity for Adam Azzopardi. Got it to Andy Azzopardi. High up and under kick. Johnson at the back. Got it!
Good grab.
Gee, I thought Newen had his name written all over it. Well, especially into that breeze. Having front spot, but Johnson, yep, it's just not your average player could take those grabs, Hoggy.
Miller was stiff. He
got stuck under, didn't he?
He did, and the wind's so strong. We saw how strong it was.
And it became a 3-on-1 because Darley managed to get the overlap there at half back.
Yep.
So Johnson, who gave away a goal to Darcy Matricati late in that second term, has an opportunity to impact himself here with his second of the afternoon. Deliberate approach. Let's not underestimate the breeze, but he makes no mistake, Johnson. Clever finish from a quality player. Darley getting all-important first goal of the third term and an 18-point lead with that.
It's a big goal, because they got one, I think, in the first quarter to that end, didn't they? It took them 20 minutes, so to get one so early.
Yep.
It's a bit of a statement goal. They can back that up.
Yep.
So Sunbury have had enough ball. They've just been made to penalise. They've just been penalised when they've eventually coughed it up on the back of Devils' pressure. And more often, though, just their own execution by foot.
Yeah, they've let themselves down a little bit by foot.
I think they've been better without the ball than with it, Sunbury, today.
Fair call.
Can't doubt the pressure they've brought here to Darley Park this afternoon. Ball up, tap one by Impey. Just don't think they've had bang for buck with it. Loose ball. Inglis rode the tackle. Fed it by hand off the merry-go-round, but found power in the end. Sutton was held. Umpire called play on. Chance here for Brodie Ward, who fed the ball with the left boot. It was a good kick. Oh, just out of the reach of Joel Cadman. Bouncing ball. Oh, he got another leg break just as the pacey Miller had run past the contest in the end. The ball bounced on its end, stayed in, and then checked back out over the line.
Yeah, Brodie's had a good second quarter and a good start to the third.
Darley lead by 18 points. Throw in. Neither ruckman could impact. Not until Impolsky could on the second occasion. Ward could have been held on for too long. Umpire said no. Power now from 60. Lowered the eyes and found Sutton.
There you go.
Get it in the right hands. Power's the one on the outside. He's pretty neat by foot.
He's had a good game, Power, offensively.
How good Ampolsky. You've sung his praises all day, but when the ball hits the ground, he's almost like an extra mid. He's mobile enough for his size to join in and feed handballs.
He and Impey not too dissimilar in the way they go about it, but
follow up. Yeah.
It's a
pretty mobile.
Ampolsky's probably had the upper hand, given I've got him right there at the top for Sunbury's most valuable contributors. Speaking of one of those, the Tony Lockett medalist, Sutton. kicks on its way. Gee, he liked it off the boot. It just was right and stayed right. So bang for buck. Denies, well, a lack of for Sunbury. Again, they haven't been shy on opportunity.
After watching Sunbury bring the ball to this side of the ground all quarter, Darley again go to that far side with their kick-ins.
It's on the full.
So he played on, he found the target, Inglis, but not inside the boundary. So it'll be a rebound opportunity for the excellent boot of Hannett, who went in the Egan direction. McLean at the back went at best.
There's some extra carry there.
So a little bit of confusion as there's 5 Devils within 5 square metres of one another, unable to impact that. And McLean will get a deliberate shot on goal, and he should make no mistake here, really. They need this, Sunbury. They trail by 17 points. They kick with the aid of the breeze. And we're 5.5 minutes into this third term.
Yeah, it's time to kick-start their offence.
And they should come from everywhere too, Sunbury, if McLean can thread this. Leans back on the kick. Little effort for the goal umpire, other to put the 2 fingers up and retrieve the flag. So Sunbury get the response to the Will Johnson goal.
So we've got the game we were looking for. 2 really informed teams going into the final series. You're getting the second semis who really put on a great display for the Ballarat Football Netball League second semi.
Might be the team who can get it in the right hands. See Hannett there, he's got that extra penetration just to clear. Power here laces up Sutton for Darley. It's players like Hind and Bewley. When the ball's in the right hands, you're likely to score.
That's it in a nutshell. Ball up. Tap one by Impey, searching for Hind. It was gathered there by Stevens, who's gone into the middle. It was a late call-up for the Ballarat Interleague side.
He's got the run with Hind.
Ball up. Neither ruckman can impact, so it's a ground-level ball here. Stevens caught over the footy with Baker, and we'll get a stoppage right in the middle of the ground. So a goal apiece in this third term. 17-point lead to the Devils. Ball up. Impey somehow found Baker, who made the tap look better than it was. Hind caught. Now he's in trouble. Umpire called play on. Miller's gather was clean. Fed it to Egan, who got the overlap. Not out of trouble yet, the Devils, as Sutton gathered. He's got time to compose himself and go to a one-on-one. White it was Scanlon the target. White did well in a one-on-one. Loose ball, Ward. Now he's under the pump. Just threw the ball on boot. Did enough. Got a territory gain. One bounce over the line for a boundary throw-in.
Good experience of Myers there. He's sort of half a hold, half not. Good body and just forced a stoppage that Sutton might have otherwise marked.
Having a great battle. I love the way Sutton's bringing Myers up to stoppage to give the other forwards a crack at it without Myers in their way.
Boundary throw-in. Opportunity here for Hind, who fed the ball over the top to Hatcher, who's coming back to Bewley. Speak of Brett. Released the ball by foot, had to thread the needle to find Fawcett, and did.
The shank hit him laces out.
Well,
I'll take it.
Bewley limping, boys, in front of us.
Yeah,
He always walk like that.
No, he's limping.
so Joel Cadman went towards the attacking 50. How about the grab, if you don't mind?
Great grab.
And he has a party.
Oh, that's too far out.
One-on-one contested mark.
He's done the groin, I reckon.
Yeah, he's no
Brett
good.
Bewley.
That doesn't look like a cramp.
And he went short, and he's found Hatcher. So concerns for the Jewel Henderson medal and the Devils captain, Brett Bewley, and more broadly the Darley Football Club as their leader and best player leaves the ground, and he looks every bit proppy. So Hatcher can give it to Myers, who ran to 40, kicks on its way and right and every bit right. Gee, it was the right idea.
They just fell asleep there.
And a behind.
Wow, that could be a massive turning point in the game.
Didn't look like cramp, did it?
No.
So Hannett will go to the outer side of the ground in the Scanlon direction, but Cousins was up to the task.
Star.
Oh, good hands.
One grab, Cousins, left boot, floating kick to the pocket. When searching for Tanner, it went off hands, and the Devils will cop a stoppage in their forward pocket, some 25 metres away from their goal.
You just can't get separation going against the breeze from your immediate opponent, it seems.
12-point lead to the Devils. 9 minutes gone. Third term. And the Devils in the league on Brett Bewley watch. Ampolsky, second attempt. Umpires picked out a free kick for a throw here. Yeah. It's going to go the way of the Devils. Unlucky. And it's going to go to Impey. So under Myers is not running around like bee to a honey pot here.
You can see Hine just waiting for someone to switch off here.
Well, he's 100 metres away from Impey. He's just going to have a drink of water. So Impey, Williams VFL listed player. It's fought hard against Ampolsky today. Kicks on its way. It's not a bad effort from the ruckman, but it's right. And off to the right for a minor score. So let off for the Lions, Hoggy.
Yeah, maybe some good news for Bewley because they're doing a lot of work on that leg rather than putting ice on it. Yeah, so they are. They're rubbing something into it, so I don't think they've given up on him just yet.
He might have just seized up. It is a warm day, like we made the comment about how sustainable is the pressure on the ball carrier.
Well, regardless of what happens for the rest of the afternoon, it's going to be news during the week as Hannett gets plenty on the kick. Cousins at the back. Well, it went over his head. Foot race on here. Chance for Scanlon. Release the ball. Chance for Doyle. Left boot. Poor kick. Cut off there by Matthew Brett, who wasted no time. Could have gone to one of three Devils. Went to Matt Riccardi in the end, who fed it to the outer side and found Andy Azzopardi, who does cover the ground, and he keeps the Lions honest. And the kick was good. And he found Hatcher, who continues to present.
That's the blueprint to exit.
So Hatcher will continue the pattern of play to the outer side of the ground. Impey went over his head. Ground ball opportunity. It's going to come back. It's going to be a free kick to Impey for a push.
He was interfered with as he was about to fly.
So time ticking away for Sunbury to impact with the breeze. Tick over 11 minutes gone. Awkward build up here from the Devils. Baker's in trouble. Held to him, said the umpire. What happened there?
Well,
bit messy.
Impey handball to the ground. Cousins picks the ball up and gets hammered.
It's a fundamental game, this. Ball up. Clever hand pass out of the congestion from Azzopardi to Hind. And the finish.
Slick hands.
Is off to the right and through for a minor score.
3 really gettable misses the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Can the Lions make the Devils pay for a lack of bang for buck of their own that we were referring more to of Sunbury in that opening half?
Gallant open here.
So to be Miller. Goes with the right boot, got plenty on the kick. Spall was good from Impey. White got the loose ball, gave it back to Impey, surprised him. Got it to Baker. He went with the left boot, out in the direction of Hatcher. Reading it best off the boot. Though was the Sunbury captain in Lever.
Reads it like a book, doesn't he?
Yeah. Very well known for his intercept marking. Got it into the right hands of Hannett, who should appreciate this breeze. Good pressure from Fawcett. Made the hand pass loose. Egan under the pump. Hatcher's got him. But we'll get a stoppage on the attacking side of centre wing broadcast side for the Devils, who lead by 14 points.
Good news for Darley fans. Bewley about to come back on.
Bit of pickle juice.
Ball up. Tap one by Impey.
What a rotten product that is.
Well, he could have had a pickled onion, who knows? Crawford. Hopeful rather than anything else here to a 2-on-1. Presenting.
Dangerous place to hack the ball.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I think Dan Jordan might be standing there. There's the runner right now.
Muir comes broadcast side to Boyd, who marks uncontested in the end, and Ampolsky comes off for a well-deserved break. He fed the dummy on Crawford. He took the bait, and the kick was, well, it made it difficult for Sutton, gave him no chance.
The poor kick.
And over the line for a boundary throw-in, 59 metres away from the Sunbury goal.
Usually good by foot, Boyd. That's his strength. He was disappointed in that one.
So a goal apiece in this third term. After Darley led by 12 at three-quarter time, they lead by 14. Loose ball, Egan. Can he make it count? He gets onto the left boot.
Smart.
And he finds Boyd.
Really clever, wasn't it? That's what we've talked about all day. Slow your eyes, hit the easy one.
Yeah.
Well, he had no one coming forward.
Well, he could have.
Off centre, so he just chose to find the next first option.
First quarter, they were shooting for goal.
Yep.
Instead of hitting that man up.
I don't want to jinx Boyd, but he is one of the best kicks in the side. It's the main reason they play him. He's a beautiful kick usually.
Yeah. I called a game with Boyd playing against each point. He hit 6 targets in a row just when he'd been called up into the side. He'll kick from 50 here.
Spray.
And, Hoggy, buy a ticket in the meat raffle, mate, because that was ordinary.
So he's had 2 now. He missed that hit up here in the pocket a minute ago, so he's had a rough 2 minutes, Murph.
So it'll be Billy Myers. to endeavour to negotiate the Devils out of the fence with that trusty right boot. He got plenty on the kick, maybe too much.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Yeah, it's been a grab from a guy in a Sunbury's polo, and he's happy with that. Yep, one hand, yeah, just reminding his mate who saw it.
Got it on the spit.
What had just transpired. So to be Newitt. He goes in the direction of Sutton, who wanted the hold and denied. So Joel Cadman just chipped it to Duncan. Now he had to go to Bewley, but he took on the tackle and went to one of the smallest men on the ground, Inglis. Tendinello had the height advantage, got the spore to land. He found power, had Gallant to the outside, but just chipped it up. This will suit the Devils, and they'll find the safety of the boundary line with a fist. That kick from Power gave Sutton little or no chance, Hoggy.
Yeah, no, that's right, especially when you got Billy Myers on your back.
Boundary throw in. 35 metres away from the Sunbury goal. Johnson to do the ruck work. Tap one by Duncan Cadman. Brett Bewley back on the ground. Encouraging signs for the Devils. Just got a little strap under that left knee. This is an interesting application. Good use of the body by Duncan Cadman. Conceding size. Johnson went to ground. Sutton. Miller. Awkward kick. Poor one at that. Geez, their entries, their last 3 or 4 have been... Well, would frustrate Matty White. That's a better way to put it. Matty Brett, look out. Found Cousins. So, but given the pressure of Sunbury, Cousins was a bit reluctant to keep running there. He had momentum through that.
Well, he had Inglis in the middle, who's sort of getting in between the zone. He might get this one, Inglis. He's just floating there.
So White got on the end of the Cousins kick, and this is poor. Wow. Let off here, though, for the Devils. Oh, how's the gather and turn? And the right foot kick there from Johnson, deep into the goal square. Bouncing ball is favourable. Johnson gets his second, and Sunbury are back within 8 points here at Darley Park.
What a place to turn it over.
Yes. They looked out. It was a pretty poor kick.
So I thought he had momentum through the ball, Cousins, with the mark and run. So he stopped, went back, and then missed the target. So certainly... no discrimination for anybody here today as Johnson gets his second of the afternoon and Lever comes off for a spell. He too hasn't got the best gait going on either, Hoggy.
No.
He saw.
And Bewley still doesn't look $1 million. He's out there, but he's not striding freely.
Look out, Cameron got it to Stevens from inside half forward. Accuracy. It's just off to the right. It's hit the post.
Come out the front of the stoppage.
Yeah, and he's got the leg. He was always a big chance from there. So.
Yeah, well, he's got some toe.
First year out of under-19s footy.
Yeah, plenty to look forward to.
Yeah.
One of 10 Darley Sunbury juniors today. I think the Devils have got about 16.
Yep.
Oh, that was a strong grab against Gallant, who's just gone to ground on the back of that Tanner grab. Just run around him if you like, but no. He released the ball by foot. And the spoil on the ball from Riley was enough to find the safety of the boundary line.
Gallant must have...
And Gallant's after him here. Look at this. Look, watch.
There you go.
Hey!
Have one of those.
Just going back to his Avondale Heights days, or Aberfeldy, one of those two, Hoggy.
Yeah, Avondale Heights. He copped a bit of a backhander, accidental maybe, but didn't appreciate it.
Boundary throw in. Bit of sideshow bob going on here at Darley Park. Impey flies the tackle on heels. We'll get a ball up.
Been a good 18 minutes for Darley, hasn't it? Sunbury to score again. Darley more shots at goal, still hold their lead.
8-7 to 7-6, 15 scoring shots to 13. You can throw a couple on the full there for Sunbury. So Bewley searching hand pass.
Oh, good tackle.
Ground ball, Fawcett, gathered cleanly, ran away with the left boot. Dangerous here for the Lions. Johnson, the fly, couldn't impact. Newitt with the release kick was hopeful, got a territory gain. G. McLean got a terrible bounce. It favoured the Devils with the outnumber as Joel Cadman got it to Ward and sent it back into attack. Ground ball opportunity, socket off the ground. Tanner, snap on goal, is near and always near to the left and through for a minor score.
They do look dangerous, more dangerous going forward in this quarter than early in the game, Todd.
Well, Darley have kicked 1 goal for this term, so they've had 5 shots of their own. And Sunbury have kicked 2-2. So a little nudge there from Scanlon. I'll get out the back here, though. Sunbury through Eels. He might have caught one high. Umpires picked out a free kick.
Cadman, a hold.
So Joel Cadman will go lateral. to Matricati. McLean provided the pressure. Here come the reinforcements. Johnson overran it. Ground ball opportunity. Clever play from Azapati. Defeated to Bewley, but he was held up. We'll get a ball up. There's a play down for the Devils.
Darley got out of jail there. McLean was very good. If that ball releases, they are away.
Had numbers, didn't they?
Yep.
And it was Darcy Matricati. Thought it momentarily had a bit of cramp. Ball up. Johnson grabbed it out of the ruck, fed it by hand to Muir. Clearing kick, one-on-one. Cousins, McLean. Somehow Cousins ended up with it. Gave it to Brett, back to Cousins. Heavy hand pass. Cousins got one high.
He just stayed on his feet.
Yep.
Cousins, that was the difference.
McLean's no slouch in that situation. Strong body.
So Cousins will weigh up the options now here. And he'll come broadcast side. Won't get the journey with the kick. Adam Azapati, innocuous. He's just done a shoulder.
Yep.
He was already leaving the ground with it. So
Oh, okay. So,
they got him stuck.
well, poor communication, but not so for the Lions. Oh, Wood's hand pass let him down. Andy Azapati wasn't his best moment. Power. Follow-up work from Azapati was enough to square away a stoppage.
Yeah, he's done. Cousins saw him leaving the ground and thought he was in space.
Thought he was leading.
Yeah, he turned away from it.
Oh, regional footy at its best. Just needed a trainer to accompany, and that would have been enough. But
I think it's a stinger. It doesn't. He looks okay actually now.
ball up. Tap one by Johnson. Just tried to gain possession of himself. Egan took them on. Held to him, said the umpire.
Again, Sutton engaging Myers up at stoppage. Myers is the one guy you don't want to kick behind the ball. So
It's a big 10 minutes.
8-point lead to Darley. Just the 3 goals kick for the term.
Big 10 minutes in this game.
Darley lead by 8 points. Ball up. Impey just to Myers. Tackled by Sutton, taken to the ground. And we'll get a ball up.
You see, it's just an arm wrestle. It's going to be a goal either way here. We'll just break it open.
Tap one by Impey. Myers just threw it onto the boot. Dribbling ball. Well, that's deliberate. Let's see whether the umpire will pay that. Yeah, that was the right call. Sunbury loyal and faithful. We can hear the clapping and the cheering even through the glass.
Umpiring's been good.
Yeah. Gallant sends the ball inside 50. McLean the fly.
Only one who touched it.
And Matty Brett just letting McLean know that he probably should have hung on to it.
And McLean disagreed.
So we get a boundary throw in here, 40 metres around from the Sunbury goal, who trailed by 8 points here, 22 minutes gone, third term, second semi-final action. Geez, the breeze still having an impact on that boundary throw in. McLean kept it in front. Devils will be happy to see it over the line. We'll get a throw in, 20 metres around from the Lions goal.
So multiple forward, 50 stoppages here. Sunbury, they've got to find a way.
Sunbury have kicked 1 goal too with the aid of this breeze in this third term. Darley 1 goal 4 against it. Impey with the tap to no advantage. Sutton. Myers has never been far away from Sutton.
So they've got 3 on the 50. Just got the wall up.
Tap one by Impey. Baker. No. Andy Azapati. Got it to Bewley. Went by hand to Hine. Threaded the needle. Round to space. It's clever running patterns there from Hine. Dumped as he kicked. Left foot kick high up and under. Way! There's a mark of the day. Well done, Tedanello. Oh, now he's in trouble. Had to feed the ball by hand. Got it to Power. He loves to kick the ball. Inside 50 to a 2-on-1. Over the head of Brett. And Scanlon marked it on the chest. And we'll go back and have a shot on goal here. 25 metres out directly in front.
that hurts. That's a 3-on-1 under that ball, maybe even 4. Darley everywhere, and Scanlon's giving a little nudge in the back. Yes, he's done well there, Paddy.
The difficult nature of the breeze, the weight, obviously was a bit too much for Brett, but that didn't excuse another defender coming over the top to aid a spoil, albeit body or ball. So Scanlon should kick this, and he does. Keeps Sunbury in it. They're within 2 points here. Time on in this third term. Scanlon gets his second. And near 24 minutes gone, third term, 8-8-56. Darley leads Sunbury 8-6-54. Survival of the fittest here as Stevens comes off with a bit of a loose gait himself, the youngster, for a spell. Lever, Muir, another couple there enjoying a momentary spell while Gardner's keen as mustard to get back on in those shiny lime-coloured boots.
Lever's been there a long time now. He's spent a fair bit of time with the trainers, but...
Now, since he's had that time off, he's awkwardly moving. So Power again, been good. Right foot kick, clearance, up and under kick. Crawford did well to get a spoil. Bewley, free kick against him on Egan.
Just big and strong, Egan, so he drew the free.
So important few minutes for Sunbury with it.
40 metres kick, yeah.
Can they impact? So he chips into the danger zone. Went over the head of Matthew Brett again, not for the first time. Johnson ran at best. This will be a good shot. Well, he's just off to the right. He had more time than he thought, the big fella. But the perceived pressure of finals and the adrenaline through the body presented a shot on goal, and he missed.
Point of difference.
56 plays 55 here.
Breeze is still there because they've consistently got under the ball at this end, haven't they?
The anticipation living up to the billing as the two rivals locked together, head-to-head over their FNL journey at 28 wins apiece. And just the 1 point separates the two here at Darley Park. 6 finals previous to today. Darley with a 4-2 advantage. Final number 7. Myers, to release the ball by foot, got beyond the defensive 50. One of the better kicks into the breeze. Loose ball opportunity for Ward to Bewley. Over the top, was ambitious. Hatcher was a clean gather, but took it over the line for a boundary throw-in. 8-8-56 Darley. Sunbury 8-7-55.
Red time goals, they're going to be important for Sunbury.
Well, they kicked 2 beyond the 30-minute mark of the opening term. Darley need to hang on as Hind. Well, he didn't get any support as he had a touch of the fumbles and then fed the ball by hand only as far as Power. Dribbling ball gain. Crawford attacked the footy. Ball sped out the back. Doyle. Traffic. Feast to a honey pot. Will get a ball up 55 metres away from the Sunbury goal.
Give me last man standing. These guys are going up and down on the spot.
Yeah, they look tired early. It's been warm.
Well, it's the obvious grand final position on the line. I tell you what, the week off wouldn't hurt either of these two, given what's transpired this afternoon. As
Bewley's out.
Cadman got the overlap to Bewley, who elected to go by hand to Inglis. Look out! He got the overlap with a slow handball. Duncan Cadman might have caught one on. The umpire called play on. Fawcett had no support, had no opportunity to release the ball, but he managed to hold it up, and we'll get a ball up on half forward out of side.
Yeah, you're right, Toddy. When you've come this far and thrown all your chips in, you want the week off.
Ball up. Tap one by Impey, loose ball, Fawcett, spent it before he had it, went back, and Polsky's pressure was good. Great tackle at ground level from the big man. And he's going to get a deserved free kick here.
Yep. Caught him cold.
So, and Polsky impacting with and without the ball this afternoon. Sent the ball forward, Scanlon in front spot, couldn't gather cleanly, was a hot footy, heavy-weighted kick. Hind knocked the ball out in the direction of White. It was bailed up by the ferocious McLean, who knocked it out the back. Ward was clean with the gather. Now the composure of the kick needs to be good, and it was. And he found Crawford. He's got Matthew Brett lateral. Should go to him. Found him on this occasion.
What's Brett going to do?
Well, he'll just chip it up out in front of Myers.
He had the danger kick. He had the danger kick in the middle, but he erred on the caution.
Well, they'll be just looking for keepings off here, and Sunbury wanting to take them on. It was a poor kick, a rare one at that from Myers. Open the door for Wood. It's a hold. Oh, let off for the Devils.
I thought it was a Sunbury hold, but it's Duncan Cadman.
Well, he had front spot, so it was going to be hard for him to concede a hold.
Yeah.
So Duncan Cadman and Myers just giving them a reminder that, mind on the job. That
This one's on Impey's head down the line, I think.
So Cadman, speaking of Duncan.
Poor kick.
Yeah, it was just cut off there by Egan, uncontested in the end. If he didn't mark it, and Polsky would have.
Well, they were too far away from him, the Darley player.
So Egan sends the ball forward. Sutton cannons into the back of Brett, and somehow the fat ball fell into the hands of Johnson. He's got Boyd to the outside of the pocket if he wants. But he's going to back himself here from 60. It's gone across the face. Cousins saves the day on the last line.
I don't know why he didn't commit to that. He's probably, you know what I mean? From there, they've been kicking him all day.
I think he did. I think he just overkicked it, just didn't time it.
He rushed, but didn't he?
Tried to kick it a bit too hard.
So Cousins goes to the defensive side. It's not a bad kick beyond the defensive 50. Fawcett and Lant. Boundary line wins in the end. We'll get a throw in from just outside 50 for Sunbury, who continue to push in time on of this all-important third term with the breeze for the Lions. 29 minutes gone. They trail by a point. Throw in. Tap one by Impey. And Polsky, second up work to Rivik. Just took on, bit off more than he could chew. Just didn't get the support.
Baker.
And Baker will just chip it Lateral. Kick was okay to Joel Cadman. We can just chip it over the top, and the kick was safe to Hind.
They're just working the clock here, the Devils.
Well, you've got to have the foot skills to hang on to the footy. And they've done enough so far, but it's been in the right hands. Fraser used earlier, boys, as Baker just drills it wide towards the boundary line. Near half forward, Bewley was provided the aerial. Ball came to ground. Sunbury got numbers around the footy, but we'll get a ball up. Attacking side of centre wing, outer side of the ground for Darley, who lead by 1 point. Near 30 minutes gone, third term.
So Cousins has peeled off defensive 50, and you got Joel Cadman peeled off on the wing here for Darley. So they've got plenty behind the ball, plenty of cover.
So we'll get a boundary throw in on the outer side of the ground. Darley have just missed out on a couple of opportunities forward in this term, albeit into the breeze. They've booted 1 goal for. Sunbury have added 3-3.
Sunbury's spares are at Darley's defensive 50.
Boundary throw in. Impey won the tap. Baker got the clearance. Left foot kick went forward, but it's been cut off by Tendanello.
Yep, he's one of them.
He'll go backwards with the 45 to Newitt, who wastes no time and got the overlap to Gallant, who's got Boyd short if he wants, and he gave it to him.
They need to square up here.
They need somebody to push here, Sunbury. That's not a bad effort there from Boyd. Good use of the body from Johnson on Cousins.
White leaves his player here.
It'll sit up for him here. Oh, he's gone to ground now. He's in trouble. He's going to be pinged. He might have got an accidental poke in the eye.
That's siren.
Yeah, he'd done his dash when he lost his feet.
Grab his head.
Look for a free.
Yeah.
So the siren has sounded for three-quarter time here.
31 minutes.
The term went for the best part of 31 minutes, and it's Darley 8-8-56, who led by 12 points at half-time. Cling to a 1-point lead over Sunbury, 8-7-55. Clark, you got the goal scorers.
Yes, for Darley, we've got Jack Bewley and Johnson with 2 each, and singles to Tanner, Brett Bewley, Myers and Matricardi. And for Sunbury, Scanlon and Johnson have 2, and singles to Sutton, Boyd, Hannett and McLean.
Briefly, Hoggy, where's the game at?
Well, I think Darley still won the quarter, even though Sunbury's kicked their 2 goals. Darley go in front still at three-quarter time with the scoring end. They made up 2 goals that quarter, didn't they? I think it was 3-1.
3-1,
yeah. I'd rather be in Darley's shoes now than Sunbury's coming home with the scoring end. But again, Sunbury's got the firepower. You got Sutton, you got Johnson, who's looked pretty lively in the last 5 or 10 minutes. You got Scanlon, who just kicked 1 of 3 tools. 12 months ago, McLean kicked 40 goals. He's always dangerous. I think if Sunbury can put enough ball in, they can still win. But it's a big if. I think Darley.
Clark?
Look, just looking at the trees out there at the Gisborne end, they're still blowing hard, so I still feel it's like a 2-goal wind in favour of Darley in the last quarter. It's an important 10 minutes. That first 10 minutes, if Darley would have scored 2 goals in that first 10 minutes, that's going to put a lot of pressure on somebody. And they will, the way they're moving the ball, they might actually just take a few more risks, and you never know what might happen.
Well, the contested nature of this second semi-final affair on a firm deck at Darley Park doesn't discriminate. Both captains have spent some time off the ground for their own reasons. Obviously, that we saw the way that they were moving, clearly hampered. But Bewley's made his way back onto the ground. He didn't kick the ball from the time he came back on, though. He did have 4 handballs, whilst Lever has yet to return. The game's in the balance. Darley will kick to the right of the screen in the final term with the aid of the slight breeze. The majority of scores have come to the right. So Darley, they lead by a point at three-quarter time. Still anybody's game. Grab yourself a beverage of choice and buckle yourselves in for a most entertaining final term coming your way via the FNL Match Centre in 5 minutes' time.
There are certain things in life that just go well together, like the new Big Arch and layers of delicious melty cheddar cheese. Cheese. New Big Arch for Big Macca's hunger.
Welcome back to the all-important final term of this second semi-final between Darley and Sunbury. It's the Devils who lead by 1 point after Sunbury led by 19 at quarter time. The Devils rebounded with the breeze to lead by 12 at the half, and they now cling to a 1 point advantage. Plenty more to play out. Stick with us. 30 minutes to go. Tap one by Impey. First clearance all important, and Sunbury will get that through Power. He's been good. So too is this man Cousins across half back. And 50.
Oh,
No, he's not.
No.
Not 50.
So Cousins wheels with the left boot. It was an awkward kick. Down the ground as he's been dumped.
He's been dumped as he kicked
that's
it.
Brock Land.
Oh, that's discipline.
Yeah, that's really poor.
Lack of.
They're probably lucky it's not in the super boot hands here, is it?
Oh,
No, they're in mini boots hands.
Yeah.
And Harley.
Who's looking for the handball there?
Yeah, Matricati there.
We'll go for Cadman here.
So he'll go high and deep. Johnson will set himself and take the grab.
Johnson.
Contested mark. Goal square.
Well, again, the players at the front of the contest have misread the aerial.
Look,
And Johnson, with his nous, has been able to read it best. Not dissimilar to what a couple of Sunbury forwards did in that third term.
should be taking 30 seconds off the clock here. He set himself after about 10. He's keen.
Well, he deliberate approach,
Goal.
straight over the net, and straight onto the head of the wing defence for whoever's playing in the netball at the moment.
That's his third.
Johnson gets his third, and he continues his ability to hit the scoreboard against Sunbury at Darley Park in recent outings. His last two, he's booted 6 and 4, and today he has 3.
So undisciplined act at halfback.
Yep.
70 metre downfield. Inglis, so Bewley and Joel Cadman both led out, sucked a couple of defenders with them, and Johnson's such a hard matchup. He's got such good spring for just a regular sized guy. He was up high above everybody,
And he reads the flight of the ball so well as well. So he's not just randomly jumping at the sky. He just reads it so well. And you get the right guy, the aerial match, like you said, and he gets you on the ground.
So Johnson's
Good player.
just asking the rest of the forwards to clear out. I'm it.
7 point lead of the Devils, 2 minutes gone.
So Gallant's got the job on Johnson.
Final term, ball up, Impey, won the tap. Who's at ground level? Bewley. Hunts the footy, releases the ball. Hyde's attack on the footy was good, but not clean enough. As Newitt released the ball to Tendanello, who got it to Power. Territory gained a half forward. Bouncing ball. Ward committed, then tackled, taken to the ground by Lant. Umpire called play on. Good pressure there from Gardner to square away a stoppage, 49 metres away from the Sunbury goal.
So Sunbury exited straight up the middle there. That could be plan B kicking in right now.
Bewley fed the ball by hand, hopeful. Good pressure there from Fawcett on Muir. He's forced to release the ball. Matricati's awareness was good to find Brett Bewley to the outside. He just tipped it over the top. To Duncan Cadman, nervous kick, cut off there by Tendanello, read it best. And a chance to rebound for the Lions from centre wing out of side. Lowered the eyes and gave it back
To Bewley as well.
to the dual Henderson medalist in Brett Bewley.
Here goes Cousins. He's the centre. Oh, he's making ground. He's got to find him. He's got him.
Oh! Mark Andor free kick. Gee, he's been in the wars the last 2 weeks.
That is great play by Cousins to create that space in the centre of the ground.
And I imagine his mother, Rachel, quite symptomatic of the family to groom themselves well. I don't reckon there'll be much of her nails after the last couple of weeks. Kick forward, Johnson's got one high. Would have knocked him out nearly. Umpire's picked out a free kick.
Oh, he's kicked the goal.
Johnson's gone to ground and Inglis took the advantage. He kicked the goal.
All clear. Surely.
You've got to be given it all clear. He's kicked the goal.
Johnson's back to his feet.
No, they're making it come back.
Wow. No advantage.
So Harley Inglis kicked a goal across the body that would have had Jimmy, his father, out of his seat up there in Queensland. But the contact on Johnson.
Look, to be fair to the umpire, he was not the controlling umpire, and he paid what the controlling umpire didn't see.
Yep.
But there was no break in play. It was a good snap by Inglis. But anyway, Johnson, hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, well, he's going to take his shot. He'll be fine. and a chance to extend a 7-point lead as we approach the 5-minute mark of this final term. Johnson for goal number 4, and more importantly, a 13-point lead to the Devils. Kicks on its way, straight through the middle, and Johnson lets the Sunbury crew know just who's boss at the moment, 5 minutes into this final term.
I think so. I like Johnson's attitude. He took that first really strong mark in the first couple of minutes, and he just asked all the other forwards, "You guys get out, leave it to me." His attack on the ball then was enormous, and he got clipped, and he's finished off again.
We mentioned that earlier in the game, a couple of his attacks on the ball just to defend, to get there. And that kick, you mentioned Cousins, he created the space, then the space closed. I reckon Bewley really trusted him. I don't think Bewley kicks that ball to anyone.
Right.
You know, I think he's identified that Cousins is so trustworthy, strong overhead.
Yeah.
And only one guy could have found him.
Yeah. It's right hands again. And it's Bewley to Myers to Johnson.
Back at the restart, Darley lead by 13 points. Near 6 minutes into this final term. Here they go again. Bewley got ball to boot, albeit a territory game. Miller was strong. Bounced off Inglis. He'll nearly get it back here, Inglis. It was just held up momentarily. She's there fighting vigorously here, the Devils. Hine. Crawford. The gather on the half volley was terrific. Went forward. Ground ball opportunity. Set up nicely for Newitt, who can thread the ball laterally to Muir, who presented well. They're trying to find an overlap here. They're going to come back inboard to Riley. The kick didn't let him down. Still got Cantonello to the outside if he wants, or Gallant, but he'll go short again to Egan. Well, now he'll look to distribute. He'll come broadcast side to Wood. He's got Miller. Land on the overlap. He'll head in that direction. It was Miller, in fact. Yeah. So Miller will wind onto the right boot. Overcooked the kick. Reading it best there was Gardner. Got the loose ball. And he kicked meant there for Andy as a party. It was a poor kick in the end. He missed everything. Out of bounds on the full.
Gosh, he pulled his kick and
still kicked it on the full.
Kicked it into the crowd.
So Stevens, who looked proppy moments ago, back on the ground, sends the ball to half forward. Impey couldn't impact the contest. Gardner again gave it back to the big fella in Impey. Tumbling kick. Gee, the bounce eluded everybody except for Tanner, who ran through traffic and sent the ball forward to Johnson in a one-on-one. Nearly had it. Play on, said the umpire. And squared away a stoppage, a size of relief from the Sunbury loyal and faithful. They were nearly done again by Johnson.
2 grabs, Jono, and he just couldn't hang on.
Giving away 3 inches, but how good was the craft?
Ball up.
Yeah.
Ground ball, Hatcher, took them on. He's in trouble. Loose ball, fell in the hands of Hannett, not out of trouble yet. Release kick from Riley, but he got a bit of it. Torpedo into the breeze. Johnson took on the tackle of Brett. Loose ball, Crawford, Hind, Bewley.
Wow, that is good football. And Matty Brett, that was a very good tackle, and he stripped Johnson of the ball and released it before he hit the deck.
Yeah, I've loved Sunbury's effort, but the cream is rising.
Yeah.
So Brett Bewley with...
I'm loving Hind's entry kick there.
Yeah.
I'm not going long to the goal square where Johnson's just taken a couple. I'm just going to hit someone laces out.
Yeah, so less predictable.
Yep.
In that passage of play.
It's a great place to shoot for goal.
So Bewley has the timing. Perfect. Typically, Bewley, goal. Darley gets some separation. And a game-high 19-point lead to the Devils. 11-8-74. They lead Sunbury 8-7-55. Hoggy, you summed it up in a phrase. Cream rising to the top here at Darley Park. 8.5 minutes into this final term.
And because Johnson looks so lethal, you get, as Sunbury defender, you're naturally going to gravitate towards him. That's where the ball's going, and that creates those loose targets across the top of the 50.
What say of Sunbury now? They trail by 19 points. Have they got a response? Ball up. Impey won the tap. Bewley at ground level couldn't gather cleanly. It was a hot footy. Fell into the bread basket of Johnson, who was held up by Impey. Will get a ball up.
A couple of young Devils just getting encouraged to leave the 50-metre out from Johnson.
Well put there, Clark. Tap one there by Johnson. Loose ball. Hannett, and it knocked away from him. Johnson somehow just threw it over the top. Trelaw-like. Baker got it to Jack Bewley. High up and under to a vacant pocket. And a few tired players quite happy to see the ball bounce end on in over the line for a boundary throw-in. Get some air back into the lungs as we get a reset in the Devils forward 50.
All right, so game on. What can Sunbury come up with here?
Well, they got some spares with Miller and Riley goal side. So they get a boundary throw in here. Johnson, the beneficiary, gave it to Miller. Good pressure from Tanner, who found Cameron, who ran through traffic and kick didn't let him down. He'll get it back here with a 1-2. Ran to half back. Awkward kick, bouncing ball. Matthew Brett did the mobbing up, gave it to Impey, fed it to the outside to Gardner, who measured the kick well and found Joel Cadman.
Although Cameron butchered the kick, that's the right idea. They're going to need more of that.
Yeah,
they're going to have to go through.
He was
corridor.
a bit Lockie Bramble-like running through there.
They're going corridor.
Yeah, that's the way they're going to play.
So Joel Cadman hugs the line. Well,
He hugged the fence.
hugged the outside of the line, out of bounds.
So good on Cameron for being brave and taking the game on.
Yeah, I like it.
Hannett. Oh, that was a good effort.
Great.
Above the grass from
Great, but
Scanlon.
There's some break to the middle here. They're getting the numbers in the centre.
There's another kick that just was marked just above the grass line.
Darley defending the corridor pretty well, aren't they?
Yeah.
So McLean got it to Hannett. It was a good chase from Tanner. Now they've got numbers here, Darley. Johnson did well, though, to get an important hand on it. Egan,
Well done.
McLean, look out, drop the ball. Play on, set the up. Oh, he's going to pay the push.
Lucky.
Fortune.
Yeah, well, it was a push in the end.
It was.
Egan set him up, but he just wasn't clean with his hands, Mitchie.
Yeah, bit of perceived pressure creeping in. But it hasn't been since the opening bounce, in fairness. It's been a high-pressure game.
Kick.
Oh, has the grab from Johnson
Strong
just
grab.
inside the boundary line.
Long grab.
He's been okay today. He wheels onto the right boot.
Total shank.
And it's been turned over and taken by one of your favourites, Hoggy, in Mace Cousins, who switches play, bullet-like. He'll get to Matricardi on the bounce. Look out, Inglis! Oh, umpire's caught. Well, now he's paid it. Yeah, he did call play on.
It was a tackle stat.
Well done by the Sunbury defender, but to come up and
He
try and
was.
turn it over.
So Inglis got it over the top to force it. Ball's going to have to come back over the mark.
Put him on his angle.
Big fatigue starting to set in with
Yeah.
Sunbury's ball use. Players like Johnson and that just usually good kicks really starting to throw, kick sloppy.
So Cousins, territory going to half forward. Jack Bewley was strong to break away from the tackle. Joel Cadman didn't die. He got to his feet. Bounce back up if you don't
Johnson!
mind. Oh, gully catch from Johnson. Fed it over the top to Duncan Cadman. And an unlikely contributor on goal gets it done. And they come from everywhere, the Devils, as they get 1 foot into the BFNL Grand Final, 12 and a half minutes into this final term.
Well, you got to love Duncan Cabin getting on the end of the Joe the Goose kick from 1 metre out. He's worked hard.
Well, you can just add that to another goal/score involvement to Will Johnson inside 50.
And brother Joel had a fair bit to do with the goal assist. That was a great trap.
Oh, he just bounced up, if you don't mind, like a cat on a hot tin roof.
Half volley, clean, release.
That was 10 out of 10 by him, wasn't that?
Yeah.
So Darley have kicked 4 unanswered goals in 13 minutes into this final term. Ball up. Duncan Cadman into the ruck. Well, he's been the only ruckman to kick a goal today.
Well, Johnson's kicked too.
All up. Well, Johnson's into the ruck now, yes. Baker. Very important in that. Well, he's been important for the most
You can
part, to
see
be honest.
somebody are ringing the changes to try and find the right combination.
Bewley fed the ball by hand, only as far as Egan, who went in and outside of traffic and took on the tackles.
Wow, it's-
Because it was plural.
And they're-
Miller fed it to Stevens. Right foot kick. Well, it was skew if,
Got to-
but it was good enough to find Doyle, who's got no time to waste. 51 metres out. Just chips it over the top. Cousins got an important fist on it in front of Sutton to the safety of the boundary line. We're going to throw in 30 metres away from the Sunbury goal.
That's what I love about Jake Egan as a player, but that's him willing himself on the contest to try and turn things around. For a 21-year-old, you expect that more from more senior players.
Yeah, it was great. He stood up, broke 2 tackles.
Sunbury's turn with their ball inside 50. Eels with a second crack at it. Now he's in trouble. Lucky to get away with it in the end as Baker just dribbled the ball onto the boot. Gathered cleanly by Johnson. It's been a shining light for the Sunbury team, especially in the second half. And Myers with the intercept mark.
Might have rolled the ankle there.
And he's looking a bit sore there, Myers, on the last line of defence.
It's landed a bit awkward.
Just checking on that left sock.
High up.
Seeing if the left sock's okay.
He's got a sore left sock.
Let's see how he goes with the distribution. You see if he goes the old barrel, but he does the Myers drop punt with the best part of 60 metres. Oh, there's a nice overhead grab. Taken there by
Turnover.
Murphy Boyd, who turned it over to Tanner, who went long to a one-on-one to Johnson at the back. Gallant at the front. Ground ball. Hatcher, clever tap. Will it sit up for him? Here come the reinforcements through Newitt. He'll rebound. Now they've got an overlap with Miller on the outside if he wants Doyle. But he goes more direct and hit up McLean. They trail by 25 points.
Glant's lucky they weren't one out down there because when they hit the ground.
So McLean, that was a good kick into the breeze. Cousins went back.
Again, what a last quarter this man is having.
Well, he's had a super game. He's certainly been elevated into the Devils' best three for the afternoon. Good luck working out who those are, but he's one of those. So I've got it down to finding another two, boys. So Matthew Brett along the line. Poor kick in the end. Got it in between Baker and Bewley. Speak of Jack on that occasion, and McLean gets a reprieve and a chance to send Sunbury back into attack, albeit just to half forward. He's giving it back again. It's over the shoulder.
Duncan Cabin again. Important touches this quarter.
He's an important player. Provides an aerial, doesn't get outmarked, and he feeds the ball back into the defence. Myers just happy to roll back and play on and go to the outer side of the ground to Hatcher, who's covered some ground today.
Great sweep.
The kick didn't let him down. He's got Andy has a party in the middle. Kick needs to be good, and it was. He played on and went by hand of that man Cousins. Left foot kick. Tanner got it.
That's where they've opened up. Like early in the game, that kick inside and then the overlap handball off, it wasn't there. Sunbury wouldn't allow it.
Yeah.
You know, the pressure was too good. They're starting to pick through them now.
Yeah, 16-minute mark of the last quarter, and half the guys are gassed.
Yeah, and we have spoken about all day the potential of it going this way, haven't we? We've been wrapped with Sunbury, but all day we've felt it could get to a stage where, you know, Sunbury start to slow down and Darley just are too good for them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a title fight where the undisputed champ, albeit in 2025 so far, has got it done.
Yeah.
And Tanner puts a nail in the coffin. Darley get their 13th. 13 goals, 8. 86 Darley. Leads Sunbury 8-7-55. And Sunbury, for all of their great work, but they've been unable to restrict a top four opposition away from home to less than 80 points. So they're always going to be needing more than 80 to win today. And they've got 8-7-55, and they've been unable to manage more than 72 themselves. So that's the pass score for them.
I think they created enough opportunities to get their score in the 80s, but early they were a bit wasteful. I think if on reflection, first quarter.
Well, this game's out to a 31-point lead. Darley have kicked 5 unanswered, near 18 minutes gone, final term. And Polsky out of the middle, sent it forward. Bouncing ball, good attack on the footy by Matthew Brett, who's got a bit of an awkward gait at the moment in this final term. And Polsky deserves a goal, dribbling ball. Gardner, can he get to it? I don't think he made it.
I think it's a goal.
Free kick, is it? Coming back.
Free kick's going to come back.
To Ampolsky, I think.
And it's going to go to Ampolsky. So while we were ball watching, well, it can't be Ampolsky. It'll be Scanlon.
There's a contest just at the top of the goal square there.
Well done by the big fella, but out of the centre bounce.
Been very good.
Yeah, got it again.
Yeah.
Been very good, Ampolsky, today.
Definitely in the best.
Yeah.
On the ground.
So Scanlon to get one back for Sunbury. Kicks on its way. It was awkward. It was helicopter-like, but it landed safely straight through the middle. Sunbury get their first of the final term, their 9th of the afternoon, and we're back to a 25-point ball game. 19 minutes into this final term. Scanlon has 3 and joins and Johnson 2. So they're the multiple goal scorers for Sunbury at the moment, whilst the Devils, Johnson has 4 and 2 each to Brett Bewley, Jack Bewley and Javen Tanner, the multiples for the Devils. Back of the restart, confidence up. Impey won the tap. Hind fed the ball to Andy as a party. He went wide to Hatcher. Tinanello's attack was good, but wasn't clean enough. Hatcher released the ball to Baker. Got on his preferred left and found Tanner.
Very composed and neat there, Baker.
Yeah.
He's clean, Baker.
He
gets a lot of awkward ball.
Yeah. Below the knees. He can pick it up. He just had a quick look and just that pop kick. And now they take 30 seconds out of the clock.
I don't think he's quick, is he? But you know, slow players can look quick when they're so clean.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's slow, but he's not really quick, is he?
Well, he's just getting better with age.
Yep.
So it'll be Tanner from just inside 50. High kick. Puts it up with the breeze. It's coming back, but not far enough. And off to the right, through for a minus score. Darley 87.
That's his 5th score for the day, Tanner. So
Sunbury 61.
Effective inside 50. 2 goals, 3 now.
So he's filled the void left by Edwards. Of course, no Lahure today. No Spiteri, no Denham. So Hannett, trusty boot. He's a good kick. Mm-hmm. And he found Muir. So Muir and Lance went overseas during the year. Not ideal. Chips it over the top. Some good pressure shown there by Matricardi to deny Sutton, who's booted multiple goals in each of his 18 games this year, Sutton. He's got 1 at the moment.
Imagine doing that back when we played. It happens a lot more now, doesn't it?
Boundary throw in. Epi won the tap. Sutton did the roving and got it into the middle of the ground towards Miller. Jack Bewley went to ground. It was a good contest. Gardner, attack on the footy was terrific. Got it to Inglis. Back to goal. Look out. Fed it by Andy as a party. Got it to Duncan Cadman. Outside of the right boot. Johnson!
He's some player.
Yes, he's just too good.
Matty White was just watching the play and he's just gone, not him again.
We'll give Dunk the goal assist.
Yes, the clever
assist.
banana kick to the advantage of Johnson, because if it actually had gone to the other side of Johnson, Gallant was
he had him.
Is in the preferred position.
Yeah.
He's clearly got Gallant for speed and leap and agility and that, but that when it's a contested situation like that, you'd like to think that Gallant would be a real chance.
Well, it did favour. It went to the side of Johnson. So for goal number 5,
Nope.
miss to the right. So he's at Darley Park, his last 3 games. He's 4 today, 6 at their last meet and 4 before that. So behind for Johnson.
First blemish.
Could have eased that up, doesn't it, too, because he shared a few, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's true.
Been pretty unselfish.
Darley 88, Sunbury 61. They'll sleep well tonight, the Devils. So too will the Lions, in fact.
That was a great play off half-back. The run, carry, break the tackle, and a young fella there with the lime green boots.
Gardner. So Hannett, penetrating kick out the Polsky direction. Terrific mark. Played on. Yep. Went by Antonello.
Oh, no.
Right foot kick. Now here's an overlap to Johnson, who's been very good in the second half. Backed his speed in. Took a running bounce. Ran to 35. Got the sidestep. But the momentum with the ball went to the right. Spoil on the footy. Devils not out of trouble yet. Ground ball. They'll get the outnumber here. And White will get the ball released by foot with the left boot. Out wide towards Hatcher, who continues to present and cover the ground for a small forward. He's played very high today. It's not his first disposal on the outer centre wing or half back, and he went short and the kick was fine.
Jack Bewley's on here wide.
And found Crawford. He'll go along the line from half back to half forward. So the breeze still having an impact. Impey lopes after the footy. Conceded by hand. I could pressure for Tenanello. Impey still in trouble. Shoveled it out boundary side near deliberate and paid.
Wow. Bit stiff, the big fella.
So they'll come back to Boyd.
Trying to get it to force it.
So Gallant sidestep. Well, it was Boyd's sidestep. Now he in trouble, Hannett. Got it over the top. Finally, they got it to Gallant. He needs a good bounce. Had to stop prop. Inglis nearly got him. Force it. Over the top to Hatcher. Give it to Johnson. Now it's goal number 5. Bang!
He's kicked that into...
He kicked it onto the Western Highway.
Darley Bridge.
Onto the back of a ute. We need a new footy. Johnson's got 5 at Darley Park. And the Devils, well, the Lions, as their name suggests, really did hunt on safari here this afternoon, but they've just been unable to reel in their prey. And it's the Devils 14-10-94 who lead Sunbury 9-7-61. A 1.3 quarter time lead from the Devils has been extended to 33. They've booted 6 goals to 1 in this final term and really flexed their muscles.
That was an amazing play from Johnson. A great mark and run away like the big fellow. But he just kept going. He needed to.
He needed some support run.
It's probably the bit he struggled with most today, but he's probably just that last little bit. Like he's had a couple, but he's been good, hasn't he? He moves well for his size.
He does.
Yeah, and Matty Brett, to his credit, he's stuck on the chase and pushed some pressure on.
24 and a half minutes gone, final term. Impey to Baker, who's been important. There, that was well composed. He just needs a handball give and got it in the end through Andy Azzopardi, who presented and went along towards Tanner. Good defence shown there by Eels to do enough to deny. And the ball rolls over for a boundary throw in 15 metres around from the Darley goal.
Young Stevens in at centre bounce now, and it looks like they've potentially put Lever away till next week, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's clever.
So I'm just curious, Trav, at our next stoppage, Sunbury this week, what happens? How much time spent on review as opposed to preparation for a preliminary final? As Miller got the clearing kick out to Sutton. He's got a couple to beat. Jack Bewley just tried to knock it boundary side, but Muir provided the run and the support. It just needs to sit for him. Kept tapping it in front of him. Bit Matt Triccardi-like, as we saw in the previous term. But he did enough to find the boundary line for a throw-in, centre wing out of side.
I think the review will be reasonably positive, and I think they'll prepare pretty quickly for next week. So there's no shame in today's defeat. They're not playing Darley again next week. They've been good.
They have been good, Sunbury.
They've had Melton and East before this year and beaten them, so...
And Polsky, speak of one of the Lions, I was going to say the devil for a figure of speech, but couldn't be any further from the truth given the two sides today. Chance of power, fed it over the top to Land, who was strong in the contest, gave it back to Power, could get it to the outside to Scanlon. McLean had to stop and prop under the footy. And the ball comes off hands on the back of some Darley pressure.
Yeah, it's good pressure by White. He's really worked hard.
Darley lead by 33 points.
Did a big job, White, on Scanlon this last second half.
Throw in. And Polsky won the tap. Impey went to ground. Chance for Cameron. Kick smothered by Azzopardi. 1% pressure still up from the Devils despite a 33-point lead.
Throw it in, thanks.
It's funny, we say Sunbury's been really good, and they have, but I've tipped them by a kick. You guys just tipped Darley in tight margins, and then nearly 6 goals down.
Yeah.
That's how good Darley are.
Yeah, they've withstood just a defensive, well-organised Sunbury and prevailed.
Inglis to Ward, who missed Matt Triccardi. There's that tap from Matt Triccardi. Does it again. Just needs to sit for him. So he goes with the boot. That'll nearly be deliberate. He got it out in the end. Fair enough. Umpires even getting a bit tired here today.
Yep.
Firm deck here at Darley Park. Certainly asking questions of both sides. Given we've had, slow decks over the last 6 or 7 weeks.
So Bewley and Myers now on ice.
Throw in. And Polsky never giving up the ghost. Stevens tackle, take it to the ground. Good pressure from Tanner. Joel Cabin through traffic. Could have fed the ball to Andy Azzopardi. Ignored that and went along to Hatcher. Well, that was nearly interference. Front on contact against Newitt. So Hatcher has been a bit of a handful.
He's had a good second half, Hatcher. He's been that link. There's sort of no man's land on that.
Well, he can cover the ground.
On that dead side, and he's there. He's always there as the outlet.
I think Johnson might have been iced too. I can't see him out there. And Mace Cousins has just gone off without a player being brought on, so they've gone for 5 on the bench.
Oh, God.
I think he's fine. I think they've decided to just get him rested, not risk injury. Is Johnson out there? No, he's gone off too, hasn't he?
So Hatcher.
He's gone.
From in front, well, it's a very good game for the youngster. And he makes no mistake. Darley get their 15th. They bring up the ton here at Darley Park. 15-10-100. Sunbury 9-7-61. It's out of a 39-point lead after just 1 point separated the two sides. Hines off for a spell.
Well, he wants to go off.
He's going off.
And Craig Baker's coming on.
They might be a couple short here.
Or DJ might come on, try and pitch a couple of late ones.
So Darley have got at least 5 on the bench here.
They've got 4 forwards. So that's probably the rest of it's probably held together. So yeah, they're playing with 4 forwards.
Needless to say, somebody got some extras behind the ball. We're back at the restart here. 28 and a bit minutes gone. Final turn. Darley lead by 39. Tanner into the ruck. Did well. Fed it by hand to Andy Azzopardi. Back to Ward on his preferred left. And he found the target in Crawford.
Also been good.
So it's a good opportunity for the Devils' bottom half to continue to link up and get experience, finals experience. So we lower the eyes, kick meant for Hatcher, confidence up, gathered on the half volley, hand pass was good. They're away again here, the Devils. Tackle from behind was good from Lant. And the rebound from Newitt. He got it over the top, out in front of Scanlon. Coming off half back there was Crawford. He caught one high. And the ball will come back. And Crawford will take the resultant free kick.
Good commitment.
And get another rebound exit for the Devils.
He's put his body on the line 2 or 3 times this last quarter, Crawford. Good effort.
So Darley kept each point to 5 goals last week. And Sunbury to 9 goals thus far. Near 30 minutes gone, final turn. Plenty on the kick. Terrific grab.
And Polsky.
Polsky again. He fed the ball to Miller. It was an effective kick. And go to the outside to Boyd if he likes. Normally good. By foot. Not a bad decision maker. And then showed some composure to find Stevens, who gave it towards Tenanello from 50 out in the Sutton direction. And he's taken a grab and a chance to go back to keep his multiple goal run in season 2025 alive. Having kicked one today from his 18 games heading in, he's booted multiple goals in every game.
Entitled to get the overlap there, and they did, and they were clean.
39-point lead to the Devils, 30 and a half minutes gone. So Sutton for goal number 2, and Sunbury their 10th. Kicks on its way.
Good kick.
It's a good finish.
Missed it.
Just off to the left in the end. Hit the post. And not for the first time today.
Johnson applauded that. It was a good kick. But
Good point.
yeah. 1 goal 3 for Sutton. He's tried really, really hard.
Yeah. And, I mean,
Mostly with 2 players on him.
Jacob Brown's copped Billy Myers the last 2 times, and Brown's just booted the one on him. Oh, there's a terrific grab. That might have been Tenanello again, was it? But Tenanello's been good today, and he fed the ball by hand towards Eels. Kick in the middle, turnover opportunity. Baker, they've got to feed it by hand here. They've got nobody forward as a party. Now he's got no support. He'll go back to Baker. He'll just tip it over to the top. Eels provided the support, went to ground, opened the door for Jack Bewley. Can he spot Matt Riccardi? He can't, and he overcooked the kick. Turnover, Doyle through the middle of the ground. And a right foot kick from Newitt will hit the target there in Polsky. Who's been the Lions' best today. Sutton presented, ignored that option.
That round he goes.
And he ran around Tanner. And the siren sounds. I reckon both sides would be happy to hear that now, given the inevitability in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Lever doesn't look well. And Egan had come off the ground once the game had been put to bed by the Devils. And what was a convincing win in the end, the Devils were made to work very hard for it. And a 38-point win to the Devils. And not for the first time, they were asked to reel in a margin 18 points or more. It's happened in each of their 3 games. Sunbury got out to that 19-point lead with the breeze. Gee, the Devils hung on to just until the last couple of minutes where they conceded 2 late goals in that first term. Whilst Sunbury didn't necessarily get bang for buck, they could have kicked a couple more. There was enough to ask questions for the Devils to respond. But with the breeze, in the 2 quarters, they booted 6 in the second and 7 in the last. So Sunbury unable to kick, have a 5-goal term against top 4 opposition away from home all season. Well, they were competitive. They brought their A game, and they had every reason to tie late against a good side. Hoggy.
Yeah, and your numbers stood up pre-game, didn't they, about scoring patterns and that? But I think Sunbury brought their effort, like we said. But I think the thing you take out of it is they couldn't have been much better. They brought their effort. They've still been clipped by 38 points. It was in the end, it's a pretty comfortable victory. So that's just where they're at. I think they'd be wrapped with where they've got to at this point. They've made huge progress. That win against Melton a couple of weeks ago to get a top 3, spot, they had to get that done. But the gap's still there between obviously them and the very best, which is Darley. And can they bounce and beat Melton or East next week? Probably. They showed today that they'll be in that up to their ears, and they'll probably, with the way they start games, they'll probably be in front at half time. But it's hard to hold Darley out for long periods, in that the longer the game goes and the pressure drops off, their good players start to get the ball in space, and they just cut you to pieces. So, yeah, Sunbury won't be wrapped with their effort, but I think they'll probably be disappointed in the end that they've been, blown pretty hard on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I think there'll be plenty of respect for Sunbury out of the Devils camp, and if they happen to meet again in 2 weeks' time, it'll be again on for young and old. No doubt in the post-match, Jordan will comment on the challenges that Sunbury presented, as will Matty White. I'm sure he'll allude to, whilst the Devils got it done comfortably, I'm sure he would have been proud of his boys for the most part. Darley have won their 19th game in a row. unbeaten since the season opener. 15-10-100 of Down Sunbury, 9-8-62. Clark, you got the goal scorers.
Sure. Leading goal scorer in the match was Johnson with 5.
For Darley.
For Darley. Well, for the match, either side. Johnson for Darley had 5, and the other Darley goal kickers, Tanner 2, Jack Bewley 2, Brett Bewley 2, and singles to Hatcher, Hind, Impey, Duncan Cadman, Myers, and Matricati. And for Sunbury, 3 goals to Scanlon in a good effort up forward. Johnson 2, and singles to Sutton, Boyd, Hannett, and McLean.
Yeah. Sutton continue to present, but they are the number 1 defence in the comp to the Devils. They'll take plenty out of it. Sunbury, they've got every reason to be disappointed, but they put up a good fight. That's why the disappointment is validated, because they really had a crack. They should be proud of their effort. They've just come up short. Darley 15-10-100 of Down Sunbury, 9-8-62. Yeah, 7 goals to 1 in that final term to put the icing on the cake. Final word from you, Hoggy?
They were brave, weren't they? I thought Sunbury. They turned up to have a crack at winning. They were brave. They stuck to their task. And the final word is that Darley looked clearly the best side in the competition.
Well,
so it's just too good at the moment.
From a Darley point of view, they took a couple on the chin. They took the hits. They absorbed all of that pressure, and there was a lot of it, which meant that it was 12 points of difference at half-time. Both sides only kicked 1 goal each in each quarter against the Breeze, so it was a tight struggle. It's just the down Breeze quarters. Darley's perhaps a little bit steadier in front of the ball, perhaps had a few more options in front of the ball, and guys like Cousins, Baker, Brett Bewley came back on after looking like he was done for the season there when he limped off the ground. So we'll get more on that during the week, I assume. But look, I think DJ will be very happy with the way Darley stood up to that immense pressure from Sunbury and then prevailed. So they were going away in the end, so much so they had 6 on the bench there for the last 3 minutes of the match. So they put them on ice. Job done.
So a 28-point win to the Devils in the qualifying final against East Point has been trumped with a 38-point win over Sunbury in today's second semi-final. Guys, we thank you one and all for joining us here at Darley Park on this second semi-final. Yep, the anticipation lived up to the billing, but it was the Devils who marched on their winning way, and they're into a grand final. They've defeated the gallant Lions combination by 38 points. Sunbury will play the winner of Melton and East Point, who play tomorrow in Sebastopol. So we'll be down to 3 next week before we find out who'll be taking on the Devils in the McDonald's 2025 BFNL Grand Final. So on behalf of the crew, Elijah behind the eyes, Hoggy, Clark and myself, Todd Whelan, we bid you all a very good afternoon, and be sure to tune in tomorrow via the BFNL Match Centre for the first semi-final between Melton and East Point.
There are certain things in life that just go well together, like the new Big Arch and layers of delicious melty cheddar cheese. Cheese. New Big Arch for Big Macca's hunger.